Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream, and this is quite a special one. I'm here with a guest today, and that guest is Deurklink. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, well, I'm Deurklink. Most of you might know me from my YouTube channel. I make a lot of videos for Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, mostly tutorials. But I also have built some really nice parks, which I've done in a YouTube series.
Yeah,
that's what most of you will be knowing me from.
Yeah, you've built 3 megaparks so far, which we're going through today. But yeah, also a lot of Open RCT2 specific tutorials, like how to do certain tricks and stuff. It's good stuff if you're interested in that. So just Deurklink on YouTube. If you just search Deurklink, I think you'll find it. You might also find a thing about the door handles, because that's what the name means in Dutch.
It does.
Search Deurklink RCT, you'll find it.
So you wanna know the story behind the name Deurklink?
I don't actually know that, so yeah.
The name wasn't taken yet.
That makes sense. It's a random name, well, it's never taken. Yeah, it's kind of a surprise that I managed to get Marcel Vos on Twitch. I made a Twitch account in like 2014, which is about quite a while ago. I wouldn't be able to get it nowadays if I made my Twitch account now. But usually I gotta do, you know, add my birth year at the end or something like that.
Yeah, my actually my Twitch name is Deurklink 11.
Was Deurklink taken?
Yeah, Deurklink 1 as well.
And 2 and 3 and 4.
Next name.
You're doing a stream with the door handle. Well, yes. And a talking door handle at that.
Quite a special one.
Thank you for the 5 months, by the way, Sabrina. And thank you for the 100 bits sign. You can't watch. That's unfortunate, but, you know, the VOD will be on the YouTube, the second YouTube channel. You'll be able to watch it back. But yeah, have a good time, whatever the reason is that you can't watch. Class Action Megapark, here we come. That's not the one we're starting with, though. We're starting with Deurklink's first Megapark, which I think it's just called Megapark.
Yeah, it's called Deurklink Megapark.
Yeah, there we go. And I've got the save file here. Now, the thing is, I have seen it a couple of times, you know, at a giant park or anything, but I don't know much about it, so this is gonna be a surprise for me as well. Oh, thank you for the 200 bits, Donzia. Okay, so let's load it up and see what it's about.
Yeah,
Oh, it's an island. Is
yeah.
it? We're having a bit of a lag spike. Oh, there we go.
Okay. So, story behind this park was I just wanted to really challenge myself to build a park of the maximum size that was then available.
Do it again with the new maximum size. Ooh, transparent water, much better.
So already in the first episode of this on YouTube, I already told the viewers that, yeah, I'm insane for doing this. I think it cost me around 80 episodes on YouTube to complete this park.
Of about 20 minutes each on average?
Yeah, there were like 15 to 30 minutes per episode.
It would be about 20-25 hours of watch time. Hang on.
Yeah.
What's that?
So that's
cool.
Yeah, that's a train from Wacky Worlds. It's the Conger eel.
Oh yeah, I recognize that. But that's like a big water. Ooh, and an orca.
It's a shark.
Shark. Well, close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
that's
find
a custom
more,
ride, right? Wait,
creatures.
that's not custom.
No, it's not.
How massive is that train? Hang on, this is called a building. Where is this from?
It's called a building, but that's because I changed the ride into a crooked house.
Oh.
So the reason I do that is to make the track invisible, but also because a crooked house cannot break down. So that's why I can set the inspection time to never, and it won't have to bother any of the mechanics.
I just use a cheat for that.
Yeah, of course. But, people who open the park, they won't always have the cheat set. So this way you prevent any rides breaking down.
Fair enough, fair enough. Thank you for the 4 months. I'm in Ob. I know the Ob is a river in Russia, quite a long one. I wonder if it's from that. And thank you for the follow, SPG Bob Marley. Okay, so here we got the entrance. DKMP, which is Deurklink multiplayer, I think. Resort. Not much multiplayer in this one, but you know that's the standard naming convention you have.
Yeah,
so that makes sense. And the entrance itself is quite modest, I must say. Then we got a security guard. Well, entertainer.
In the newer parks, I usually make a real entrance, but for this park, I just pretended the actual entrance was before the bridge. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that does make sense. Yeah, the Megapark that started it all. When did you start this?
I believe I started this park somewhere at the beginning of 2020, so just before COVID came into existence.
Okay, hang on. Let me decrease the frequency of autosaves, just so we don't get those lag spikes every time. Because if it's a big park, you get a little lag spike when the game makes the autosave, and I had it on every minute, because when I did the cursed park I needed that. Okay, so this is a trick that I like. I don't really do this myself. I don't mess around with zero clearance on scenery a lot, but I imagine you do this a lot. You build a tree and then you just zero clearance some flowers around it, which it doesn't look bad. It looks very natural. But yeah, it does require a cheat, so it's not obvious to someone that could be done, even in OpenRCT2. But yeah, it's just a very basic trick that makes it look nice. And you buried the fences in the ground, I see.
I actually also buried some of the trees a bit.
Oh yeah, they're not the
Also see
same
more
height.
of that at the white building.
Yeah, you made a video about that as well. I think your video about making a forest, you included that trick?
Yeah, correct.
Is it?
I use it a lot to just when you put a lot of trees of the same trees next to each other. Yeah, they will look very uniform and like they're on a grid. So to prevent that, I often bury quite a lot of my trees, a little bit. I don't bury them all the same height, but just different heights, and that will make it so that yeah, it's less grid-like.
That does make a lot of sense. Is it a general RCT requirement to have a coaster passing by the entrance? We'll see if it's also a coaster in the other two parks. I don't know what he's done, but we'll see. Thing about this coaster, it means nothing too special. It's a fairly standard wooden coaster, but it is a nice color scheme. And of course you got the custom support and this little tunnel with track architecture. I know you like your track architecture.
Look at the footers of the coaster. There's these concrete footers under the coaster.
Oh yeah, that is custom.
Yeah, and no, they're not custom.
Oh wait, this is no custom scenery. This park.
Yeah, correct.
This is the prison wall corner. Haha!
Yep.
It's Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 expansion scenery coming in useful.
Yep.
They can be quite useful.
Yeah. Yeah, the expansion scenery, most of it is terrible, but some of these objects are just very useful in creating footers, for example. But also some of the foliage, like forest trees, also used quite extensively in this park.
And I think that some of the fences are also really nice.
Yeah, especially the Asian fences.
Yeah, but also the one that's in Sherwood Forest, like the medieval ones.
Yeah.
Don't know if you have those here, but I don't think so. Oh, no, thank you for the gifted sub, Nosferatu. I appreciate that. Those footers are a pain in the ass to build. I imagine so. You have to bury each and every one of them individually, right? With a tile inspector, or just
No. If you disable clearance checks, you can just hold control and keep building them at the same height.
Of course.
But they tend to glitch out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that when I did similar trick with building things in the ground, with building lines for like a volleyball court. Yeah, you would be able to see the lines from one angle, but not from the other angle, and stuff like that.
What was more of a pain in the butt was the underwater scenery. So you can see I put quite a few plants and rocks underwater.
Yes.
And for every one of these objects that you place underwater, you have to go into Tile Inspector and place them under surface.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of that in my Giga Park, with a few waterfalls to make a nice river, and that was indeed annoying. Max has... yeah?
For another trick, you should look at the beach. I did some messing there with the land heights.
I see. It's like quarter tile land height or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Some tile inspector magic.
I mean, you can see it. You go tile inspector. Yeah, you can see it's quarter tile height. That's actually quite a nice trick.
Yep.
Max says, isn't it easy to just drain the water away, place the scenery items with clearance check disabled, raise the water again?
The issue is, well, when you place an object, also when you place it underwater, in the tile inspector it will be above surface. And if you have an object that's above surface but underwater, then it will glitch the water surface. So, yeah, you will have to place them under surface, even if you first drain the water.
Ah, okay. Because Max said that's what he did. And he did have some orcas in the scenario I played a week ago. And yeah, it didn't for me in my park, he says. Maybe it's different now? I mean, you did this 2 years ago.
It also depends on which game drawing method you use. So in the options, you can, for example, select OpenGL.
I always use OpenGL.
Yeah. So I usually play with software.
Why? Don't you miss doing this? Because I would.
I don't really use that. No, I had some issues with OpenGL, so I kept using software. But yeah, if you use software, then the water surface can get glitchy.
Only you would have issues with OpenGL. I can't imagine what kind of weird technical stuff you would have to do to get issues with that.
No comments.
How do you get those tiny gradients in the sand? They're a quarter tile raised, which you can do with the tile inspector. Also, I like these seats, or what are they called?
Sunbeds.
Yeah. I usually make this with like quarter tile base blocks, but you know, that's custom scenery.
Yeah.
And this is quite nice. This is just ghost train track with different colors.
Yeah, it's just a very simple trick, but I think it does the job.
Oh, thank you for the primes up, Ergalicious. Okay, what's should we move on to next? Ooh, I see a flying thing.
Yeah, so I have some planes flying around.
Why can't I follow it? Is it because it's a building?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I'll just do this. I'll just click a lot of times. That's really cool, though.
It might be nice to just give a quick zoomed out view of the park, and then we can zoom in on something which you find interesting.
Now, the downside of OpenGL is that when you're zoomed out on a big thing like this, it's a lot of lag.
Yeah. It's also one of the reasons why I like playing on software.
Yeah, every now and then I use software if this is an issue, but usually my parks aren't that big.
Oh yeah,
I find this interesting. This whole building with, I see a lift and a coaster and stuff.
That's the Sunset Hotel.
Ah.
And for some reason it has a roller coaster on the roof.
Imagine being like in one of these chambers, and every like minute a coaster comes barreling over your roof.
That's very fun.
Not very relaxing. Can you drown a random guest? Sure. Drowning guests is a thing in my live stream, if you didn't know.
You use guest numbers.
Yes, I see a turtle. That's cool.
Yep.
Yes, I like guest numbers because nostalgia, I suppose.
I guess.
Is that the Kingdom Car remake I saw? I believe so. Or at least heavily inspired by it, with observation towers as supports. That's cool.
So what you see here is actually something which is caused by the new save format.
It's these tops, isn't it?
The thing is, it got rid of corrupt elements, and when you place an observation tower piece, if there's an object 4 units above it, then it will not show that top piece. So what I actually did was I had just a corrupt element above it, 4 units. And that would stop it from showing the top piece. But now it's handled a little bit differently, so that's why you now see the top piece going through the track.
That makes sense.
Towers for the supports, indeed.
Once again, only you and a few other people on like New Element would have issues with that. I would never have known.
Yeah, we use a lot of trickery in this game to do stuff. You can also see like a drop tower there on the spike of the coaster.
Yeah, I do. This is just an inverted... No, it's an invisible drop tower, I think, with just the inverted coaster as scenery.
Correct.
Inverted impulse coaster. And then you used like Giga Coaster track and Lim Coaster track. Yes, I call it Lim, not LIM. Then some more Giga Coaster with the what's it called, multi-dimension coaster as walkways, which is a pretty classic move.
Yeah.
And now this is also pretty classic. I mean, I've built a King.k. I have a saved file called King.k, so a lot of people have done it, I think. But it fits nicely, and ooh, nice trees.
Yeah.
What did I say? You like your track architecture?
Yeah, this park is full of track architecture. Could you take a quick look at the list of rides?
I can. Let's me zoom in for that a bit, so people can see it better.
Can you tell me how many there are?
180.
Yes, and I think most of that is track architecture.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you would never have 180 real rides in a park like this.
Yeah.
And you have a couple of stalls and stuff as well, of course.
Yeah. So actually, I used the trick to save on the number of shops that I had in my park. So actually, a lot of the toilets are just copied toilets. So for example, there's toilets 1. Well, obviously I named them all. But I actually copied it quite a few times throughout the park.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've used that trick once before, so I didn't know about it, but I probably would have forgotten to do that, especially now, because, I mean, you can still hit 1,000, but it's quite a lot more.
Yeah,
Like
this park was,
toilets.
of course, made before the new save format, so the limits were still much lower.
Yeah, where's this cave toilet? Do you also have a tree toilet?
Yeah, definitely.
You made an entire video on how to make a tree into a toilet.
Yeah.
I don't see it in the name. Oh, wait.
You're in
There we go. Tree of Miracles. That must be it. There
There's also yeah.
One of these.
There's also the Tree of Life. That's another one.
Nice. Marcel, I have a question. How do you know when rides have specific requirements for stat purposes? That's just in the code. In all my ride overviews, in the description, there's a link to a table that I made. It's also on the subreddit Lord Marcel and on the subreddit Marcel Vos. You can easily find them, and it's a list of all the set requirements for every ride. I know about half of them by heart by now. This is really inspirational to want to get me back into this kind of creativity. Well, what's holding you back? Get OpenRCT2 if you don't already have it, and just start. You don't expect that you're gonna build stuff like this if you don't have experience with this, but just start. I mean, Deurklink started at some point as well.
Yeah, we all did.
When did you start playing RCT?
I think just like you, when I was very young. So I believe one time I was visiting some friends of my parents, and they also had this game, so I could play it there. And yeah, that's really when I got started. But also some of my friends had the game. It was really popular here.
Yeah, it was immensely popular.
Yeah, so I played it when I was young. Then I didn't play it anymore for a while. And a few years later, I picked it up again, played it for a while. That repeated itself a few times, and yeah, now I've been hooked for a few years on Open RCT2.
Yeah, it's basically the same story for me. I'm intrigued by this. It's a little kid's playground. Okay, this is just amazing. This is, I think, a Steel Wild Mouse thing. It's a small level to steep piece. And it's supposed to be the ropes that you use to climb up this. And
it's like just a little rope ladder.
Yeah, it just looks so much like an actual rope ladder. That's stunning. I mean, I know you didn't design this little track piece itself, of course, but the fact that you managed to just find that and use it like that. And also, I never realized these fences line up perfectly with the mini golf things. That's just a coincidence, of course, but well found. This is just lovely. Reminds me of one of the playgrounds at the old zoo in Emmen, which is in Drenthe. And according to quite a few people on the internet, Drenthe doesn't exist. Well, I can confirm it does.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
I've lived there for about 19 years. I'm pretty sure it exists. Do I exist?
Okay, can you zoom out again a bit?
I sure can. People are complaining about the stream being laggy. Or at least 2 people. It seems to be fine on my little view that I can see. Although, actually not. Is it fine? Is the stream good? You say yes or no, so I can get a general impression. Maybe it's because I'm also streaming to Deurklink on Discord. It gets in and out. Okay, so that is definitely a thing. Maybe it's because of Twitch. Maybe it's because of my internet. Yeah, it's either me or it's Twitch. It freezes every few minutes and then the chat gets set back 5 or 10 seconds each time. That makes me believe it's Twitch. If the chat's also messing up, right? The game lags, not the stream. That's different. The game also lags a little bit, but you should be able to see the difference. Anyway, let's continue. Not much I can do about it.
Yeah.
I hope it gets
so
better.
if you scroll up a little bit, like the red area with the red coaster. I actually made a zoo in the park here. I think this is one of the funniest parts in the park, I think.
Oh, I see. We got dancing elephants.
So I also made one for tigers and pandas. Little gorilla pen.
Tiger Island. This is amazing. I've done like one in a jungle a few times, like on an invisible piece of path or something. But this is just lovely.
And I actually named them after my patrons.
Ah, that's nice. Pavel.
Shameless Patreon plug.
Pavel, that's probably a Russian guy. Jochem.
Yeah, you may still know him.
Yeah.
Marcel,
That did ring a bell. Sometimes there's an internet issue, but that's my end. I mean, that could be my end as well. I generally have really stable internet, and I'm on a LAN cable, so, you know, it's quite stable, but it's not impossible. Or maybe, you know, Vodafone, or T-Mobile could have issues. It's T-Mobile now, not Vodafone anymore.
Perhaps it would help if you set the quality of my stream a bit lower.
It's already only 720p.
Okay.
Discord doesn't go higher than that if you don't have Nitro.
Okay. Alright, there's also a triple launch coaster on the bottom of your screen.
Ah, this thing.
Yeah. Don't know if you've ever made one of those.
I have. Hang on. You have a turntable.
Yeah.
I was like trying to figure this out. Well, let's watch it go. We can actually follow this one. Oh, there we go.
There it goes, yeah.
So how does this... Okay, it's not an actual turntable. It's just it's just a normal turn. I was getting excited.
And
then
actually
we go
use some
back.
of that mini suspended coaster track there to make the limb launch.
Nice.
Why, the rest is just normal track.
Yeah, but it's still a nice coaster. Yeah, I know I'm streaming at 1080p on Twitch, B. Jonas, but Twitch has like a 15-second delay, and that's not very useful if Deurklink's also gonna watch his park. So I'm streaming to him on Discord, which only goes up to 720p. So it should already be like only a small portion of this. Okay, now there's lots of big gaps. Oh yeah, I can see it on my little view as well. Is my voice fine? My voice seems to be fine. Or is it not? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna quickly try... No, not disconnect. Okay, I've stopped streaming to Deurklink. Let's see if that is the cause. Let's see if we still have frame drops. Meanwhile, I am going to take a look at the presumably launched red coaster next to the zoo.
Or just continue looking on your live stream while I mute it.
Yeah, okay, the voice is fine. That means that it's not buffering, because then the voice also cuts out. Oh, the voice is not entirely fine. Well, technical issues at quite an annoying time. Okay, it's still dropping. Then I think it's Twitch. But this coaster is cool. It reminds me of Dododonpa in Fuji-Q Highland in Japan. Was it inspired by that? The red coaster?
Yeah, correct. It's indeed inspired by that coaster type. So it's one of these air-launched vertical coasters.
I mean, yeah, you got the train for it from the airpowered vertical coaster. And while they, I think, removed the top hat to put in a loop or the other way around, you're just like, well, I want to get both. So you put in both. It's only getting worse. Well,
yeah,
in that case,
I also noticed. Yeah,
I
also noticed some drops. Yeah,
I'll just start streaming to Deurklink again, because that's clearly not the issue. For some reason, this reminded me of like a Kabuto. This little scenery piece. You see the eyes. And Kabuto is a Pokemon. What is this for scenery piece? Okay, it's a cattle skull. Oh, we see it from the side. Like one of them has an eye hole and the other is actually a horn. But
it's one of these.
See that from this
it's
angle.
one of these expansion pieces.
Yeah. Love the vids, first time catching a stream. Well, also one of the first times you're catching technical difficulties on the stream. Welcome, but you didn't pick the best one as your first stream. But I'm pretty convinced, like I said, that it's Twitch's fault and not mine. And if it is mine, I can't do anything about it. So I'm just going to continue. Hope it improves. Oh, it's almost unwatchable now. Yeah, I can see it freezing as well.
Perhaps we could try again in a bit, or maybe restart the stream.
I'm not sure what that would help though. Especially if it's Twitch's problem. Hang on. Let me just Google for Twitch down. Maybe people are having issues with Twitch. Okay, no. It's switching between 1080p and 160p. Try stop streaming on Discord. I already tried that and it only made it worse. I mean, that was probably a coincidence that it got worse, but it didn't make it better. Also, thank you for the 14 months, by the way, Bishop, and for the 2 months gold. No, for the new sub goaltender. Deurklink is just too cool for Twitch to handle. To door handle. I mean, yeah, you know what? I'll just stop streaming on Discord just in case that does make a difference. I don't, you know, if this doesn't help, then I could always try stopping this. Yeah, like Deurklink, like you said, stopping the stream and restarting it. I wouldn't know why that would help. Have you tried going to a non-Dutch server in Twitch settings? I didn't even know that was a thing. Hang on. Twitch. How to change server. And the top result is a Reddit post, of course. If you're using OBS, it's under broadcast settings. I presume I would need to restart the stream for that. Where are my broadcast settings? I think here. Let's see, where can I find this? Stream. Advanced. I wouldn't. Let's see. Oh, that's delay. I don't know where to find this. Maybe it's under Prime, but then I wouldn't have access to it. Let's see. Appearance would be not remote control. No. Maybe general? Would anyone have any idea? You know what? I'm just gonna Google for it as well. OBS how to change servers. In the meanwhile, let me know if it improves. Unable to change stream server. That's someone trying to stream to a different platform. Under stream settings is default. Oh, you trust on OBS, so you put your stream info and put your stream key in. Okay, let me see. I don't have a stream key for OBS because I'm logged into Twitch on it. Oh, hey, we got a poll result. Are the expansion scenery items good? And 75% of people said good. So you got some people on your side, Deurklink. That's good.
Well, to be fair, I think just a few of them are good.
I think you can make it work for most things.
Sure.
I need to restart it, but first I would need to find out how to change it, because I don't want to stop streaming without knowing how to change it. You know? The only idea I have is to turn it off and on again. Maybe that could work. I hope that if I do it quickly enough, the stream won't cut off on Twitch. But let's try that. I'm just going to quickly end the stream and restart the stream again. And that should not create a separate stream on Twitch, because I've had issues once before. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now it worked. Are we back? Is stuff working? Yes. Okay, Deurklink is away for a bit. He's grabbing a beer. Okay, so there was an issue in that I stopped streaming and I tried to restart streaming. It took 20 seconds before it started actually streaming, but then it suddenly stopped, and you guys didn't see anything of that. It stopped and said that it couldn't reach Twitch. So, definitely seems like an issue on Twitch's side. Then I tried logging out of Twitch just to log back in on OBS, but for some reason that wasn't possible. It said I couldn't log out of Twitch. Then I just tried again, and that worked. Chat is a few seconds behind. Chat is always behind a bit. Okay, it seems better now. Okay, I'm going to start streaming to Deurklink as well.
The good old turning it off and on again.
Yeah. Twitch is a bit quirky at the moment. Yeah, it's definitely Twitch, because it couldn't reach Twitch, even though my internet is perfectly fine at the moment. So thank you all for putting up with this, by the way. Although it's not my fault. But still, thank you for staying around. What kind of beer brand do you have, Deurklink?
I actually got this package to brew my own beer.
Oh, so it's Deurklink beer.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't see your screen at the moment. I only see your avatar on Discord.
I mean, I am streaming to you.
Okay. So I guess we're now having technical difficulties on Discord.
I'll just restart the stream on Discord. Oh, sorry that you're hearing those noises, by the way. That's me restarting streams. Can you see it now?
No, I still only see your avatar.
Hang on, I'll just call you again. Okay, I've rejoined the call. Let's try again with the stream.
Same result.
Okay, just watch the stream.
Yeah, I will watch
the good thing is that you don't need to see any details. You just need to explain the big lines.
Yeah. You can ask me about anything.
Yeah. This is quite annoying, all these issues, but, you know, we'll power through it. Okay, we got a kind of a rocket launch sciencey area here.
Yeah, that's... So basically I had some lore in my... I actually made some videos about the Round Earth Society. So basically as everybody knows, in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, the Earth is flat, but there are some people who believe that the Earth is round, and they all banded together to fund the Round Earth Society, and this is the Round Earth Society base.
Are you sure the Earth is flat in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Why?
I've made a huge park in the new save format, like the maximum size, and I couldn't see any curvature.
But that's just a kilometer. What if the planet that we're on is just like massive so that you can't see the difference on... It's about 4 kilometers, 1,000 tiles. What if you can't see the difference on a scale of 4 kilometers?
That's just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, if you search for Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Round Earth Society, you should find a few videos about this.
Nice. Like buried conspiracy theory videos. That's pretty cool. Thank you for...
There's actually a coaster coming out of this base, a yellow coaster.
Oh, this one, yes.
It's a Dueling Coaster that actually does 2 circuits, and I've synchronized them using block brakes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Are you using block sections launch mode or something? Or no, hang on, they're just launched with not launches but boosters, never mind.
Yeah, I simply made sure that they're synchronized in the track using block brakes.
Yeah, I always like the Easter egg, by the way, that there is the LIM coaster has block sections launched mode, which is the only coaster that has that, and it's a way to get multiple multiple trains on the same coaster that is in launched mode, and it's the only coaster that can do it, and I think not many people know it.
Yeah, indeed. You cannot get that mode on other coasters.
No. Also, thank you for the 2 months, Apocalypta. Okay, so we've seen the yellow one. Here we have the another red coaster and a brown coaster, which I think aren't, too special. They're nice Asian-style buildings with, of course, wooden coaster architecture roofs, wooden coaster, and that's a mine train coaster, I think. Coaster. Yeah, it's very nice. I like this color combination. And it's a suspended swinging coaster, which I don't like, but that's just me hating on it. It still looks nice. Underwater coaster. Yeah, there are quite a few of them, actually. We got turtles and a shark and the Loch Ness Monster.
I think you might like the coaster on the island.
I did see that, yeah. It's Dueling Inverts. Or is it Mobius?
Flying coaster.
Flying actually.
Yeah, they're dueling, so they're not Mobius.
Okay, so there are 2 coasters. They are rather nice. I see some. It's like a Norwegian loop or a pretzel loop or whatever this is called.
Yeah, it's a pretzel loop, but with a weird shape on the top.
Okay, just a Deurklink pretzel loop or just a Deurklink loop.
Yeah, just a weird loop.
And some kind of building here where you... Oh, that's the helicopter ride I saw earlier. It goes through like half the park or something.
Yeah, so at the entrance you can find the entrance. There's a white building.
Yes.
And it is a helipad, and this transports guests to there.
Hang on, at the end... Oh, you mean the end of the park?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that as well. That's really cool. Can we drown guests this stream? I can drown guests, although I did disable that channel point reward because it might have been a bit annoying, especially if like Mount Deurklink doesn't have water or anything. I don't know. But if I can, I'll still drown guests like I just did. Okay, earlier someone made a comment about this thing, which is a massive Ferris wheel. Now I'm a bit disappointed that these track architecture spokes don't also rotate. I imagine you would have made that work.
Not without custom vehicles.
I'm very disappointed. No, but it's really nice, of course. They're all water coaster stuff, I think. Oh, junior coaster. I think they look the same.
The vertical one is LIM coaster.
Yeah. or a looping coaster with all drawable track pieces enabled. And then you of course got the inverted impulse big support, and you got the middle, which is a water slide. Is there any more track architecture in here? I think that
there's the
station.
queue.
Yeah, station pieces. Oh, and of course, what's it called? River rapid stuff. It's immense. It's just everywhere. There's track architecture. I think
also the queue paths, they consist of pieces of observation tower track.
Are you sure? Because this says launch freefall.
Oh yeah, it could be that.
I've probably said this before, that you are very into track architecture. I'm not sure if it's like that's a meme or anything on your server, because if I did this much track architecture, it would definitely become a meme in my community.
So yeah, track architecture. When you play this game and you just go for aesthetics, then track architecture is just it's like your bread and butter.
Yeah, you would get memes like something like no good senior items, no problem. Track architecture will help you out. Which is
also,
not just a meme, that's just true.
Yeah. Also, there's an RMC now in your screen. And I actually built this before they included the RMC track in the game.
Yeah, I've seen this before, this trick. It's a wooden coaster with a twister coaster on top of it.
Yeah.
And then you have like these little vertical pieces where, of course, there's no vertical wooden coaster track. So you have only supports, which you don't really notice, actually, unless you pay close attention to it.
Yeah, it's quite subtle, actually.
It's really nice.
I believe I also made like a 0G roll that just looks like an inversion.
This thing.
But it's not actually an inversion.
What? This is just cursed. This would fit in the park I did last stream. With the janky, non-aligning things.
Yeah, I think when the coaster goes through it looks like it functions.
Yeah, it's basically like the 0G roll I did on my recreation of Lost Gravity. We both did our recreation of Lost Gravity, by the way. Remember that? This is quite a few years ago. We both did it quite a little bit differently. Let's wait. There we go. Yeah, it's not quite an inversion. It's basically the same. It just banks to one side and banks to the other side, but it's close enough.
Yeah, this is simply a case of works well enough.
Yeah. It's amazing how well these sprites hold up to this day. Yeah, I agree. And that's a big thing that I also have sometimes problem with modern game sprite, is that these sprites aren't necessarily the most realistic, but they have a certain style, and because they're not trying to be ultra realistic, they won't go out of style, really. Whereas in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, you probably noticed quite a lot of that in your megapark for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, is that because it tried to be as realistic as possible at the time, 18 years ago, it's horribly aged.
Yeah, for example, the round shapes in that game, they just don't look round.
No, they're just polygons.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but also other games from that area, Age of Empires 2 and other similar games, or Minecraft, it's just a style, and it doesn't have to be realistic, and it's easier to make them timeless if they're not trying to be realistic.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Okay, this is just a classic mine train coaster. Except... oh no, you did use mine train rides.
Except it also has a part where it goes backwards.
Okay, never mind. It's not a classic mine train coaster. Of course it isn't! It's you! Of course it's not a classic mine train coaster.
So yeah, it has two chain lifts. So one just brings the train forward, and the other one... so here it will go up the chain lift again, and when it reaches the top, it will actually go through part of the track backwards.
Oh, I see. making a thing like this was the very first time I ever learned how to do a track merge. It was basically like that. Make it, go up a hill, back down the same hill, and go backwards onto another track. And you did that again here. That could very well exist in real life. That would be really cool.
And I actually use a chain lift to make it go forwards again. They work really well as brakes when the train is moving backwards.
Oh yeah, I used them once. I used chain lifts as a brake on a hardline coaster when I wanted to make it have 300 excitement. Which is a sentence only I would say.
Yeah, hardline coaster.
Which is because the hardline coaster, that was the same issue, by the way. The hardline coaster has brakes, of course, but they don't work backwards. Or do they? I'm not sure, but there was some reason I couldn't use brakes, so I used chain lift as brakes. No, I don't remember why.
I don't know if they have brakes as an element.
They have. Oh, maybe they don't? Hang on, let me check. Oh, no, they don't. Okay, so that was the reason that I couldn't use brakes. Yeah. They don't have brakes. So I used chain lifts as brakes, which worked fine. Now here we have a bobsleigh coaster. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. A nicely decorated but normal bobsled coaster. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm right for once.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have anything special. I just wanted to have a nice bobsleigh coaster here.
And it does look nice. Like, yeah, compared to the rest of the park, it's quite standard. Nothing special, but it's still nice. Now, what do we have here?
We love Class Action Park later.
Here we have a wooden coaster with flimsy supports.
So it's actually a water coaster.
It's made of wood.
I tried to emulate the Intamin water coaster track.
Ah. Well, it's still made of wood. So I call it a wooden water coaster then.
Whatever you want to call it, Marcel.
Oh, we have a question from Max. Do you have any extra secret Easter eggs hidden in this park?
Oof. It's been a while since I made this park. To be honest, I don't think I've really hidden anything.
Not like you haven't written your name underground in scenery items or anything like that?
I don't actually think I have. Oh, by the way, Marcel, you should turn on the cheat to keep the plants from withering.
Of course.
'Cause I see them turning brown.
That should just be an option.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even notice, but when I clicked that button, water plants, I noticed a massive difference.
Yeah.
Okay. That I didn't expect that to happen. Okay, what areas?
There's also a horse ride here, by the way.
A what?
There's a horse ride next to the water coaster.
Oh, I did see that. They go back and forth. How did you do that?
There's actually two track elements you can use for that. You can either use the log bumps from the monster truck ride, or the rapids piece from the river rapids ride.
That's so genius. Because I did see that, and I knew there obviously was some way to do it, and I might have figured it out eventually, because I know how those track pieces work, and I would know how to make that happen. It's not too difficult, but just the fact that you think of that's the thing. And you have, of course, lots of experience with it, so it's easier to think of new ways to abuse it, just like it's for what I do, it's easier for me. But it's always nice, just like, people watch my streams to see me, I don't know, do my magic or whatever. And at the same time, I'm now surprised at your magic.
Well, yeah, we both really have a really different play style in this game. Obviously.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of overlap. Like, there are some new element people who just do scenery. And we have a little bit of overlap. But yeah, it is quite different.
Okay. I just like to make really big parks, and I will use try to use these tricks in a way that looks good, in a way that really fits well in the park.
Yeah. Why are those green boats floating? Which green boats? Do you mean these? I mean, these are green boats, but they're... Oh,
I think he
this
means
chain
the
lift.
boats in the water coaster.
It's a
So
vertical chain lift that's invisible.
yeah. So I modeled this water coaster after the Intamin water coasters, and they usually have one of these big vertical towers with a lift in it. Well, I didn't actually make the lift, but I still made the part where the boats go up. So you'll just have to imagine a lift being there.
I'm very disappointed.
We did actually recently do a water coaster contest on my Discord, and there actually someone synchronized an elevator with one of these boats. So we actually made it look like a lift was pushing up the boat, and that just looked so cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
So yeah, stuff like that is for sure possible. But then again, I made all these episodes in this park in just a few hours.
Yeah, like I'd ask you about that right before the stream, and like especially because you make way more content than I do, but you do it on top of having a full-time job and having other life responsibilities and stuff. And I do have those other responsibilities, but YouTube is my job. But yeah, it takes for me a lot longer to make a video, but it also means that there are some tricks that do take a long time that you just can't do because they would take too long.
Yeah, correct.
Which I suppose sometimes unfortunate.
If something just takes too long, I will either do it just outside the video or I will just not do it. But yeah, this park, of course, to a lot of people here, might look very detailed, but if you compare it to some of the other parks, it's quite under-detailed in parts.
I have seen some of the other parks. They're on a different level.
Yeah, for sure.
Although we did have some really nice stuff here. Now, one of the other things is that all the other bars I'm talking about are generally not NCSO. And this one is. For example, if you do CSO, which is custom scenery objects, then you have these quarter tile land tiles. So you can make your land tiles 4 times as detailed, or 2 times depending on your definition of 2 or 4 times, which you can't do. So you're limited just because the way you choose to play, and
Correct.
That's not your fault. That's just limitation of the game.
I think it also helps me make these episodes quite quickly, because if you start playing with custom scenery, well, obviously you have the possibility to add a lot more detail everywhere. So you kind of have to, and the more detail you add to a building, just the more time it takes to actually make it.
I mean, that's what happens with Brian Anderlzig. I mean, you know him, and he usually spends years working on a park. And a few months ago, I first watched one of his streams on a new park that he'd started, and last week, I watched another stream of his on the same park, and he'd built, I don't know, 2 rides in the meantime.
Yeah.
Just because it's so insanely detailed. But actually, he's a real theme park engineer. So you got, all the stuff at the back, like a freezer in the back of a building, which would have storage for, I don't know, meat, which they sell, stuff like that. It's just insane.
Yeah, the attention he has to detail is really incredible.
Yeah.
And by the way, I used another funny trick here at the horses. You can see some of these jumping fountains there.
Oh, I did see one. I don't know where they would. Oh, there.
So basically, it's just invisible path with jumping fountains on top.
Oh, I did that as well in my Gigapark. I did. I had a mini golf with in a snow thing with jumping snowballs, with the exact same trick.
Yeah, it's quite a fun trick to use.
Yes, although in my case, you could still see the snowball things. That spew out the snowballs, but you buried them in the ground, I think?
No, I made the path invisible with corrupt elements, and that also removes all the path objects.
Okay, I just used it, an invisible path, custom path. What's up, Neri? How you doing? We're going through Deurklink's megapark. For everyone else that's new, this is the park, and I think we're about maybe done going through this park, and then we'll quickly do Mount Deurklink, and after that we'll do Class Action Park, which is probably the one that you'll like the most.
Yeah, for sure. It's the park I finished recently, and I'm really proud of it.
I've seen glimpses of it on Reddit and stuff, and it has some really good stuff. It's basically Cursed Park if my Cursed Park had good scenery, roughly. But yeah, you got some other rides. You got a normal Virginia reel, which is I think like the standard classic model that I've seen pictures of.
Yeah, this is still a custom build, of course.
Yeah, it's
custom built,
custom built, but modeled after.
It's quite a standard design.
Yeah, still nice.
Yeah.
And we got Mine Ride, which is appropriate considering the video I uploaded last week. Mine Ride overview.
Yeah, so I was kind of inspired by Max and Moritz for the rides in the Efteling.
Ah, yes. I don't know those rides, but all I know is that you basically did exactly as I said you should build one of these. 2 years before I made it, so we're on the same page on that. At Deurklink, your building tutorials helped me get started with making small, simple buildings in the game. Well, that's nice.
That's really nice. I indeed made a tutorial on just making some basic buildings and how to do some layering of walls. And it's nice to hear that it helped out some people.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that your videos don't get. I mean, they do quite well for Roller Coaster Tycoon videos, but compared to mine, they don't get that many views, and they should get more, because especially the content in it is really good.
I guess this is time for a shameless plug of my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, just Deurklink RCT on YouTube. You don't live stream, unfortunately. If you get better internet, you should give it a go.
For sure I will.
It's definitely helped me also, I think, become a better speaker in my YouTube videos. So it's just development of skills as well as it's just fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, we got a jet ski jumping competition here. Something like that.
That's the stunt show.
Ah.
So right next to it I made like a grandstand where guests can actually walk up and sit.
They're just hang on. This bench seems to be in the middle of a tile.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So there's actually invisible paths on there.
Yeah, I figured. But how do you get a bench in the middle?
It's not actually in the middle, but the path is a bit lower.
Oh.
By the way, did you know that on a sloped path you can also connect the edges?
Yes.
You can actually see the guests walk from the sloped path onto the grandstand itself.
I did see that. I didn't register that as odd. Obviously it is, but
and maybe if you open the tile inspector and select one of those I believe it's Splash Boat track, one of those pieces, you will find an invisible path on it.
Yeah.
You can see it's all T sections. And I just placed one bench on all of them.
Okay, that does make sense. As before, I know how to use all these tricks. I know that they exist. I would know how to do them myself. It's just thinking of ways to apply them, which is really cool. And that's just, you get that with experience. If I wanted to, get this kind of thinking how to apply them, I would need to practice for quite a bit.
Well, of course, I'm also really helped out by a lot of people on my Discord who also try and go out and discover all these tricks and apply them in their parks.
Oh yeah, just like me on my Discord server. Tomorrow's video is actually a suggestion that someone made on my live stream from a week ago, which I tried then, and I failed. It was a challenge, and I thought, well, I can make that into a video, probably make quite a good video. So maybe some people already know what it is, but I won't tell it, just for the other people. You'll get a nice surprise. And also on Discord, people tell me, oh, this works like that. Oh, I can make a video about that. Stuff like that.
I see a question from Senri Sai, who asks, I see a lot of tan-shirted guests. Do you have a t-shirt stall for people to take their shirt off? Lol. And I actually do, and it's in the pool area. So there's some change rooms there, and the change rooms actually have a t-shirt stall in them.
Hang on, where is the... Oh, I see it. Right near the entrance, right? Or... No.
No,
I did see a
it's
pool.
somewhere in the middle of the park.
I did see a pool. There's like a checkerboard pattern at the floor.
So
Oh, this is
somewhere in
also a
the-
pool.
So somewhere in the middle of the park, there's like a lazy river.
Ah, I
think
see. I also saw some other like watery thing, which was different. Anyway, maybe I'll see it later again. This is pretty nice as well. You have these fountains. One of them is peeing. Very nice. Should have been the yellow one.
I just love adding silly things in a park like this.
That's kind of an Easter egg, which I did immediately spot.
Yeah,
But it's nice.
I totally forgot about this.
I have this scenery item, which is lovely. I used that as well in the Giga Park. And you use the, what's it called, the lily pad as a table, which is wonderful.
Yeah, it's used quite often by in NCSO parks. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine quite of these tricks that I'm gawking at weren't invented by you. You just, saw someone use them and were like, ah, that's nice. I can use that too. But I just don't know about them. Can you switch the water to yellow for a second? Sure. Why not? There you go. Yes.
You actually have a pea palette. Nice.
Not only that, the person who asked for it, Max, is the one who made it.
Of course.
I also, I dislike salmon pink. I don't know how much you use it, but I have a salmon pink palette. It makes everything salmon pink. It's just...
Oh dear.
It's
like
just
a sepia palette.
horrible. It's a little bit like sepia, yeah. Where's the normal water? There we go, natural water. Also made by a viewer, by Neri. It's just... it's also... I don't know how much you watch my stream, how much you know about it. Probably not very much. But it's like I have a channel point board that people can choose to recolor one of my rides I've built in the park. And very often they choose salmon pink.
Nice.
Just to piss me off. Which is actually sometimes quite annoying, because there's a few nice parks, especially there's one called Amber's World, which I like to record in, because it's a really nice park. I built some really nice coasters there. But every time I need to record in that, I need to recolor the ride so that they're no longer ugly and salmon pink, because I don't want that in my videos.
Do they also sometimes piss you off with a pea palette?
Well, there's not...
That was a pun.
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh. Usually I'm the one who makes those kinds of puns. You outpunned me.
Oh, by the way, I think there's one last cool thing I want to show in the park. That's in one of the corners of the park. I made an extra island, which actually contains all the track texture.
This one? I think this should be the one. Yeah, your response is a little bit delayed because you're watching the stream, not the Discord.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So if you hide the
That's
scenery,
pretty cool. Yeah, you say if you hide the scenery, I've already done that. That is really cool. There's even a security guard.
The track texture guard.
Yeah, that's really cool, because, yeah, you'd have to have those somewhere to just copy from, which, for the people that don't know, is how you do that. You don't, individually build all these roof tiles. You just build one of them and then copy it all over the place and rotate it and raise it and lower it and all that kind of stuff.
Especially since I knew in this park I was going to reach the right limit. I reused all these track texture pieces a lot. Like with the new save format, it's not that much of an issue anymore, because you can have a lot more rides in the park.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's time to move on to Mount Deurklink, but before that I want to actually see how much track texture here is, so I'm going to delete all the scenery. Just because I'm curious. what it looks like without scenery. Because if you do it in my parks, it's usually not that big of a difference, which is an advantage, I suppose. And there's like, do you know A Year in Winkelheim? The one that
I know the park.
If you do it there, it's like nothing left.
Yeah, it was the park with the 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that park.
I mean, this becomes really empty now.
Yeah.
Not as empty as I expected. You know, quite a bit of track architecture still, but and not custom scenery. But yeah, it does look really empty now. But this is a good way to get a closer look at how the rides work, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of this park was just consisted of foliage.
Yeah, which of course makes it all much worse if you delete all the trees.
Yeah.
But okay, this was...
They're calling you a threat to the environment in the comments.
Well, they're entirely right. Screw the environment. No, but... Oh, I missed a little bit. I missed what the track architecture shed. Okay, I think this is... we're done with Deurklink Megapark. And now we're going to move on to Mount Deurklink, which all I know that it's snow. Let's see, Mount Deurklink. And of course we also have the snow weather effect. That's a little lag spike. That's in the game, not on the live stream.
I recommend turning off the snow, actually. It looks nicer without it.
That was a massive lag spike. Do you have that as well? When you open up like a big part, do you get the lag spike?
Must be OpenGL.
Ah. Usually it's not that big of a problem, you know, when I open big parks and when I record, you know, it's maybe 5 seconds or something. But I didn't notice it. Okay, so this park is in Denmark, I see. Because Danish flags, and Denmark totally has mountains.
Yeah, Denmark is known for its snowy climate and its huge mountains.
Yeah, like mountains bigger than the Himalayas. For anyone who doesn't know, the tallest hill in the Netherlands, a famously flat country, is 321 meters. The tallest hill in Denmark is 171. Unless you count Greenland. This is just on Greenland.
Today I learned.
It's not mountainous at all. But yeah, this is just on Greenland. Okay, so what do we have? Let's see the entrance. It's a bit more elaborate. Well, the first entrance is really tiny. It's nice, but tiny. But then we have a bit more of an elaborate entrance with the flags and the stuff. And I see tickets, which are cash machines.
There's actually a wild mouse hidden in that building. With 4 stations.
Really? Oh,
and,
I was just about to ask. How did
Yeah.
you manage to get guests to line up for that? But that's how that works.
Yeah, it's a really simple ride, but
Although, the guests are a bit stupid, as there's one long queue. And then the others are basically empty.
yeah, I think their pathing makes them prefer to go to this one. Or maybe they just want to go to station 1, I don't know.
And there's also... Yeah, if there's not another guest, then the guest will just go back and just move forward again. Just keep buying new tickets. If they can't go in as a pair, they'll just buy a new ticket.
Yeah.
Cheeky way to make a lot of money.
But yeah, the ride is just there because I wanted guests to line up for the tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just messing with you.
Yep. I also froze
some
some entertainers in the gate that leads to the park.
In the small one or the big one?
So you can see some mini golf track there. So you have the big gate there, and then after that there's the
ticket checker. Yes. Oh, that's nice. I had in mind like snowman entertainers or something like that.
There's also quite a few snowman entertainers in the park.
Oh yeah, I see one here.
And again, all the entertainers, or most of them, are named after my patrons.
Trumavarium. I suppose it's not as that cold in this park, so cold that your rides freeze. Remember when I did that on multiplayer like 3 years ago on Roller Coaster and Friends?
Oh yeah.
It was winter themed, and in my square I made it so cold that the ride just froze on a hill and stuff like that. Which is a trick I entirely came up with myself. I'm pretty proud of that. I don't think you used it here. It wouldn't be very useful for a park.
Probably not.
You do have some really nice coasters, like this, fairly standard invert. It's a nice coaster nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the layout of the coaster.
Yeah, it's a more realistic layout, I think. You got your, I think it's a dive loop. I think it's an Immelman if you do it in reverse, or something like that. I'm not too well versed on the terminology. And yeah, you got the helix and corkscrew after the mid-break run and stuff like that. You got a walkway made out of a looping coaster, and I've seen this kind of support structure before. It's all pretty classic, but it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, and in this park I spent a little bit more... well, actually, I made some bigger rides than most of the rides in my other mega park. I must say it was actually a lot more difficult to make this park, but mostly because you don't really have that much choice in foliage in a snowy theme.
Ah, that makes sense, yeah.
One thing you may notice actually is that I used a palette in this park.
I did.
That's to make that's to make the snow less blue.
Let's see. Okay, let's just let's just have it here. Let's see what happens if we change. Because this is snow pellets 2. See what happens when we change to natural water. Oh, yeah. The way I noticed you had a palette is because the buttons on the top left had a different color. I didn't notice the different snow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it definitely looks better with snow that's more white.
Yeah, also I like the candy style. It's also a meme here. But it's funny because I had no comparison, no reference point really. Is that I didn't notice the different snow color.
There's actually also one tropical area in this park, by the way. There's one really big building with river rapids in it. And,
it's inside tropical.
Yeah.
I think I found it. You use path as the ceiling, which looks really cool. Max, I think it'll look even better with P. Oh, does the snow actually become yellow? I don't think it will. No, just the water. Imagine just yellow snow for an entire park. It's like Godzilla couldn't find the toilet in time.
So in Deurklink Mega Park, I didn't actually use any shoestringing. But in this park, I actually did for several rides.
This one doesn't actually seem like shoestring, or is it? I think it is actually.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah.
Yeah, I should learn how to shoestring sometime.
Yeah, I'll teach you.
I mean, I know the basics of how it. Yeah, I know the basics of how it works. I've just never really tried it. I think I've done it like once somewhere, a tiny bit. My first introduction...
It's not that difficult, actually.
Nah, it probably isn't. Just thing you got to practice. My first introduction with shoestring was, I think, that Schrodinger's coaster, which is one of the top posts on the subreddit of all time. Which is really cool. It's like a train that splits in two, and then one goes downhill, one goes uphill, and then it stops just in time going downhill because the other one goes uphill but steeper, so it has more. That has a higher weight and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, you can do really nice stuff with shoestringing.
Okay, we got a wooden coaster, which always looks nice. I was gonna say in the snow, but that's not true, because wooden coasters always look nice, just period. And thus also in the snow. I refused to try shoestring for a while, but finally learned it through watching DKMP stuff. Do you have specific videos on shoestringing?
Yes, I do.
Probably just watch those and figure it out. If I wanted to.
Yeah, I've actually made tutorials on shoestringing for specific rides, but also general shoestringing.
Yeah,
if you search a shoestring tutorial on YouTube, you should find some good stuff.
Well, maybe RCT shoestring tutorial. Otherwise, you find tutorials on how to tie your shoes.
That's already difficult enough.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't really make any rides like this, but every now and then I come up with weird things. And I could probably use it for that. Hey, where have we seen this before? Although, you did the middle slightly different. We now have gears.
So this Ferris wheel is actually smaller than the one in Deurklink Megapark.
Is it?
And this one also uses a shoestring.
The other one didn't?
Instead. No, the other one actually was full circuit.
Ah. You are both huge reasons why I'm playing these again, so thank you both. Well, I'm very happy to hear that, and I think Deurklink will be as well.
Nice to hear.
It's always, I mean, I know obviously, you know, people told me before, and just given the audience that I have, it makes sense that people are like that, but you don't really think about it until people tell you. And it's always nice to hear, and I assume you have the same.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I hear that quite a lot. I went through the comments on my YouTube channel today, and indeed there was again someone who said I got him back into the game again. So it's always nice to hear.
It's always great to hear. Do you also get comments about your Dutch accent?
Not really.
Because I do every now and then, especially when a video goes big. My core audience doesn't really do that, but when a video goes big, I get them every now and then. And they're always from other Dutch people.
Yeah, of course.
Foreigners don't mind it. Okay, so someone asked, what is shoestring? Okay, where is
the... Shall I try to explain it?
Yeah, well, you can see... I'll pause it quickly. I'll show it. Do you see this train on the wooden wild mouse coaster here? That train goes, and that train is like connected to the bobsled train that is in a circle here. So they always go at the same speed. So when you put the bobsleigh, like the long bobsleigh train, on kind of like a dummy track, which doesn't really do anything, and you accelerate the other one with a chain lift or boosters or anything, the stuff on a dummy track, which is actually the ride, also goes. And if you just hide the other thing that you actually make do stuff, hang on, there we go, then you don't see that, and it looks like it's just the thing on like the dummy track, but that's what you want, because that's what you want the ride to look like. Is that a good explanation?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good explanation.
And that's, you know, like, as I said earlier, the premise is, there we go, the premise is quite simple, if you understand how it works, but I suppose it does take quite a bit of practice to, you know, work out how everything works and stuff like that, and get a feel for it.
So on the top of the mountain, there's another shoestring ride, which is like one of these Schwarzkopf catapult coasters.
Hang on.
So it looks like a small looping coaster.
What's this? This is an entertainer and a wheel. Oh, it's a car. It's.
So you should, yeah, it's only 414's car. So we actually had a guest build episode in the park where he built a ride.
This is another great trick. This is Ollie in a snowman costume. Also, I just noticed, if the snowman is facing away from you, he is quite a pronounced butt crack.
Thick.
But yeah, thing on top of the mountain. Oh, I see.
So on top of the mountain on the back, you can see a loop. It's one. I think I have to look a bit further.
Can I see it? Now that's the question. Oh, yeah, I do.
It's a purple loop.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
And that's shoestringed as well to what ride?
Yeah, there's actually a copy of this track, but with a station somewhere below it. I think I probably made it invisible. So.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. There's a copy of this track somewhere below it with an actual station piece.
Yeah.
And that's because I wanted this track to be fully banked. But the banked track and the straight track with the station piece, they actually have exactly the same length. So that's why the shoestring works.
Yeah. Oh, that's rather smart. couldn't you have it? It probably couldn't, otherwise you would have done it. Still have it banked and on the station at the same time?
Nope. Nope, not possible.
I would probably spend like 2 hours trying that.
But yeah, it works like this.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, I see you got an actual RMC coaster. By the time you built this, it had been added by X numbers.
So first I had actually built an RMC in the park with the old trick. But I wasn't really happy with the layout. It was way too fast, so I completely demolished it and rebuilt it with an actual RMC track.
And it looks
that's the
nice.
coaster you see here now.
I like those like fake banking turns where you bank and then we're not going that direction. We unbank.
So here I used the actual inverting track, but I used the wooden coaster trains. So yeah, they don't actually have the sprites for doing these inversions, so that's why it looks so funky.
Yeah, they're the articulated trains from the wooden coaster.
Correct.
Which look really nice. I think I usually use looping coaster trains.
Yeah, you can use them as well.
I think X is still working on custom trains or something like that for this.
Yep.
You know, it's take a while because it's not easy.
Yeah, he has really high standards for his work, so he really wants everything he makes to be perfect before he releases it.
Yeah.
So that's the same for his custom trains. He really wants them to be perfect before he releases them to the public.
That fits him very well. And of course he also has other stuff to do. You know, he's got a life.
Yeah.
That's a quote I use fairly often. It's like sometimes someone in my stream is like, I can't watch now, and sometimes people are watching every stream. Like, yeah, people they have a life, or if Slijn isn't here, where's Slijn? I don't know, got stuff to do. He's probably got a life. Can't watch every stream. Okay, what did you do here? Like decorations out of flags out of the half multi-dim trains?
These flags, they're actually these mini suspended coaster trains. I probably changed them with the Ride Vehicle Editor plugin.
Oh yeah, I actually got the Ride Vehicle Editor plugin literally last stream. But then I changed a pickup truck on a car ride to an observation tower, and it crashed whenever it reached the station. It crashed the game. Okay. Not the ride, it crashed the entire game. So then I stopped using it.
Yeah, in the Class Action Park, which we will see after this, I used the Ride Vehicle Editor on pretty much every ride.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you guys for all the new follows, by the way. Let's see, what else do we got here? We've already seen that building. We've got, well, a few coasters. We got a nice train. Let me guess, called the Polar Express. Now, Mount Deurklink Railway. I love that sound of just the steam train going.
Yeah, I always play with sound off, so...
So do I. Well, no, lately I always play with sound on, but only on live streams. But I only really play the game during live streams or when recording videos. So yeah, lately I do play with sound on actually, but I used to always play with sound off. Same for Minecraft. I always play with sound off.
Yeah, the thing with if I'm recording, I sometimes also make Minecraft videos by the way. If I'm recording and I play with sound, and I just have to have it turned down to almost the lowest settings, or else it will be too prominent in my videos. You can barely hear me talk.
Yeah.
Especially with mine trains or mine carts. I mean.
Wait, what was it? Mine trains? Oh, you mean in Minecraft?
Yeah. They're so noisy.
Okay, there's also, which I did see earlier, is this Husky drawn thing, Husky Tours, which is rather nice.
Husky is just, I believe it's a car ride vehicle. I simply gave it an invisible track and I made it a little bit faster using a chain lift.
Yeah, I actually did use the Husky on an observation tower last live stream, but then it crashed. So I did know about it. And I used to really like it when I was a kid. And it looks really nice what you did here. Oh, I like this. With just the ones that are standing still and the shepherd or whatever that's called.
Oh yeah.
Next to it. That's nice.
Oh, by the way, there's a few more cool rides in the park. I made this pair of drop towers somewhere, which actually first travel up and then fall down into the mountain. So it's somewhere on the side of the mountain near the Ferris wheel.
Oh, this is... Hang on, this is not drop towers, this is Snow Eagle. No, wait, it's not Snow Eagle, I misclicked. What is this thing?
Snow Eagle is one of these condor rides. It's a real ride type. And this is also, again, a shoestring ride.
Oh, I didn't misclick, it's just that I got the shoestring.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, the drop towers.
Yeah. Probably have to rotate the view.
Oh, I think I see them. Oh yes. Oh yeah. So you got the station about halfway up, and then they go up.
This shoestring is actually
they're also
done,
shoestring.
with
Never
just
mind.
a single track.
I was gonna follow them, but they're shoestring, so that doesn't work.
If you can actually see them underground. For this one, the actual control track is quite well visible. If you hide scenery, land.
Yeah, I did see it, but that's because I went to there when I clicked follow. I wanted to follow the drop track to see how far it went underground, but then I just got
right,
to
yes.
I just got to the control track. I'm calling PETA to report animal abuse. Hang on, having huskies isn't animal abuse.
No, the huskies, they've been trained for this role and they enjoy it a lot.
That's probably like the least problematic thing about these parks. At least it's probably less problematic than everything in the next park.
And next, quite close to the drop towers, you can actually find an ice climbing wall.
I did. I used monorail cycles for that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually an idea I took from Terry Inferno from one of his parks. He had a normal rocky wall, but I thought it would be really cool to have like an ice climbing wall in the park.
Well, it is. You even got some kind of ticket guy with a nice hat.
Yeah.
And you're selling red shirts somewhere.
Yeah, correct. Several places. I just thought it would fit well with the park.
It does. It does. You think it's Bordeaux red, so they're not like the saturated or bright red, which really stand out. This is a little bit more subdued.
By the way, I actually also have some silly shops in this park. I believe one of them is a pizza stall, and it's called Frozen Pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
Here's a frozen pizza. There's the microwave.
Microwave? No, you just eat them frozen.
Just use them as frisbees.
You eat them.
You reheat them by standing on them and skating down a mountain, and the friction reheats them.
You can reheat them in your stomach.
That doesn't seem very appetizing.
Well, wait until you see the shops in Class Action Park.
Shall we, unless there's something cool you want to show off here, shall we move on to Class Action Park?
I'm very eager to show these people Class Action Mega Park.
Okay, so I'll quickly give a little rundown for what Class Action Park is. It's basically, you know, Action Park in New Jersey, which I don't think exists anymore, but it was famous for having a lot of dangerous rides and accidents and stuff. Class Action Park is basically that, but extreme. From the little things I've seen from it, it's quite good. So let's open it. Okay, so from this zoomed out view, it seems like, I mean, I can see the launched observation tower, which misses a bit of track, but other than that, it seems like a normal park.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, several people told me that when you zoom out, it's really unassuming. You zoom out and you think, oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so let's start with the parking area, which has an asshole here with a monster truck taking up 2 parking spaces. Someone came on a horse, which is not really... that's more just weird.
There's also a swan, and there's a steam locomotive somewhere. The steam locomotive actually still emits smoke every
Yeah, I
now and then.
see. I mean, nothing about that is technically illegal or like class action like, except the one picking up 2 parking spaces, which is not very nice. But it's just a bit weird.
There's also a crashed car next to the parking lot somewhere.
Let's see.
Someone came by Swan.
Crashed car.
It's more to the top left. It's a No, rotate again.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see. I see. Someone crashed through the boundaries to the fences.
mishap.
That's really nice. Would have
So
been great if there was a fighter jet on there.
So to make this parking lot, I used the right vehicle editor again.
Okay.
I made a car ride with like 5 trains of 30 cars, and then I just recolored all the cars, and then with the right vehicle editor, I made a track that goes over all these parking lots, and then with the right vehicle editor, I moved all these cars in place.
So if we make this a car ride, oh, they just all got raised up. But you can see the car right now, and if I then do invisible path, you can actually completely see the car ride. So it's a little bit behind the scenes for everyone on how this kind of stuff works. You just make a car ride like this. Well, you say just, still quite a lot of work. You make sure that the cars get stopped in the right positions. How did you do that?
So basically, the car ride has a front vehicle which is invisible, and then usually the vehicles, the amount of vehicles that you selected for the train, and then a back vehicle. So I just kept the front vehicle in place in the station, and then with the right vehicle editor, I moved all the individual cars further ahead in the track.
Oh, you can even do that.
Yeah, but still, it took me a few hours to move all these cars into place.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, let's turn this back on everything. Crooked house. Okay, there we go. Hey Cody, how you doing? Welcome and thank you for the 11 months. We're currently looking at, dare I say, probably the best thing Deurklink has ever done. Am I right in that?
I agree.
We've barely seen anything. Okay, so let's go to the entrance. What's special about the entrance? What's class actiony about it?
Well, the entrance itself is actually quite normal.
What about the coaster around it?
Yeah, so the coaster around it just goes up the lift hill like normal. Then there's a first drop, and then there's the second drop, and then there's this path crossing where guests like to take pictures.
Let's wait until a guest comes around.
Again, a frozen pizza shop, by the way.
Oh, I see. I mean, let's wait until a train comes around, and see if any guests get hit. It's not quite like RCT3. You can't play bowling with the guests.
They really like to play chicken with the coaster. You often see them standing there and just watching.
Some just got hit. I mean, the train phased through them because physics, but
they'll be fine.
Doesn't seem very healthy.
They'll be fine.
I'm sure of it. Okay, then we also got this ride, which seems to go around quite fast.
Yeah, it's the ferry go-round. So it's like a merry-go-round, but there's 2 tracks which go in opposite directions. And sometimes it just switches direction.
Yeah, we just saw that happen.
Yeah.
That does seem, especially with like no straps or anything, it seems quite dangerous.
So yeah, this is actually a shoestring, but on the control track there's a vehicle, and the ride is there's a powered vehicle, and the ride is in shuttle mode. So then whenever it reaches the end of the track, it will reverse direction. Ah,
that does make a lot of sense. We can see it underground here, the black track, I think. Yeah, very go-around track. Yeah. And also, hang on, do we have 2 toilets and one guest trapped between them? Well, multiple, hang on. Or is it just underground?
No, there's some invisible
I see.
There. Yeah, but because of the pathfinding, guests prefer to head in a straight line, so that's why they keep walking back and forth sometimes.
Yeah, I've used that trick a few times as well, that they like to go in a straight line. Or like I had a whole row of Ferris wheels, and one was very popular because that was the one where I had the T-junction of path. Okay, what do we have here? We have... Well, let's take a look at the big red coaster. It's a stand-up coaster. That... Oh. Actually,
Well,
this doesn't seem too class, actually, per se, this loop. I mean, this does seem like you could do this for real without too many problems.
Yeah, I just did this because it just looks very silly on an accelerator coaster.
It does. It does look really silly, but...
Also, it has a really nice transfer track, which is a barrel roll.
Oh. That's
well,
nice.
And the reason I used stand-up coaster vehicle is just because it looks the most like the intimate vehicles that are used for accelerator coasters.
Okay, no class action reason.
No.
We do have, however, a go-karts. Going through a bumper cars. And they're quite a bit stuck.
Bumper cars actually have a collision with go-karts. Same with flying saucers. So I thought it was really fun to just put a few of those here in the track and let them interact with the go-karts.
I also want crashed go-kart here.
Yeah. And the go-karts actually jump down on the path as well. And I've actually turned the go-karts into a miniature train ride. So
the guests stop for it.
Yeah, correct.
I see. But they stop on the track.
Yeah.
That's not how that... Oh, that guy just... This guy is a master. He just weaved through the guests. You like missed all of them. Hang on. Which guest is that? That's guest 13,439. He deserves an award. I'm gonna drown him.
There is some water in the park, so...
Yeah, enough water to kill people, which is good. I like doing that. Oh, we got an even smaller Ferris wheel.
Yeah. So, I had a mine-themed area. I wanted to have an extra ride there. So, I thought to myself, what kind of ride could I make there? And then I saw the video of Bagger 288, and I knew I had to build it in my park.
Bagger 288, is that one of those, like, famously massive vehicles?
Yeah, it's one of those famous bucket wheel excavators.
Yeah, it's like...
I believe this one's called Bagger 269.
It's like the biggest vehicle in the world. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it was invented by scientists to protect humankind from Godzillas and Doom robots from the future.
Okay, there he goes. Okay, we got this. This is a classic thing. I've done this before as well. It's an observation tower that's launched, but this thing has a little bit extra, and we'll see it once it launches. And we're following the car, so we'll see what happens. Nice queue line and exit line, by the way. It looks quite natural.
Yeah.
With the extra station bits.
Yeah, I also put some of these expansion sandstone walkway pieces. They have this night light effect on them.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't seem very safe now, does it?
Yeah, it gives guests a very brief and exciting view of the park.
Technically, if you just launch it off of that and you go perfectly vertical and there's no wind or any kind of thing, it should work, shouldn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Like, if you're in a vacuum and you go perfectly straight up, then that should be fine.
Yeah, I see no reason why it would not work.
Of course, real life is a little bit more messy than that. So, you know, it's a little bit dangerous. But, yeah, why not?
We're not scared.
Guest weight won't be balanced. That's a good point. You know, in real life, that would be a problem. Just, you know, we'll figure that out. Just little kinks. We call them kinderziektes in Dutch. I'm not sure what the English term for that would be.
By the way, you can also see a mini golf there.
Yes.
In the canyon section.
Well, it's not quite a mini. With the monster trucks.
I called it American Dream mini golf because obviously the American dream is to play mini golf in your monster truck.
I love how pretty much every guest has sunglasses. Yeah, I noticed that too. And they're also all in black. It's like the Secret Service, which is pretty apt around this American Dream ride.
Yeah, I couldn't actually recolor them. I believe by default the mini golf vehicles, which are actually guests, are black. But then as a guest gets on it, they get recolored to their shirt.
Oh, that
it didn't work here because I messed around with it too much in the ride vehicle editor.
The only thing that would have been more American if they like had a gun to shoot the golf ball around.
Just imagine they do.
You could probably make something like that happen, with like have little puffs of smoke every now and then at synchronize with the ride or something at like the holes or whatever. Make it appear like that.
Someone on my Discord actually just made a tutorial on using the steam train for making smoke puffs anywhere. So you just hide one of these steam trains underground.
That's a big gun. Do you remember the cannons that we made on your play server? Yeah. I made the best one. Well, it was not the most beautiful one, but it shot the farthest. 1,000 kilometers an hour.
Horizontal across a maximum size map.
Yeah, I've shown that off on stream as well a few times because people always ask about it. Every now and then, they ask you to show cool custom parks and whatever. What else do we have? I see this black coaster, which comes from... It's quite big.
Yeah, I actually used that coaster to just fill up some awkward spots I had left in the park.
Does it have a lot of class actiony stuff, or is it just a coaster?
The only class actiony stuff it has, well, obviously, it's a Vekoma family boomerang, which has a loop, so that's already quite strange. And at the far end... it actually has a weird spike.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually what drew me to it, to take a closer look at it.
But yeah, the car will simply go up because there's a bit more of invisible track.
Okay. Now, yeah, we got the chainsaw here. Yeah, destroy the forest.
Yeah, chainsaw the ride.
Which I think that's also shoestringed. Yeah, I mean, you said earlier pretty much everything here is shoestringed.
Yeah, there's just so many hacked rides here.
This is really cool.
So actually, legend has it that one day Bagger 269 and this chainsaw ride will fight. And only time will tell who will come out as the victor.
Bagger will.
We'll have to see. This
I know
chainsaw
it.
looks quite mean.
This chainsaw doesn't stand a chance. Not in the world, no. It just doesn't.
Maybe you should make a poll.
Max, can you make a poll?
Who will win, Bagger 269 or Chainsaw 364?
Hang on, did you pick Bagger 269 on purpose, or...
69.
Did you?
Maybe.
Of course.
Alright, right next to here, there's
a lift.
There's this tower ride.
Yes.
So guests actually go up with the elevator and then they drop down.
They drop down?
Yeah. So this was actually inspired by a ride in Tivoli, Friheden.
This was inspired by a real-life ride in Class Action Park.
It's actually, yeah, so there's actually rides where guests actually get... they go up with an elevator and then they get dropped down onto a net. But of course the guests in this game, they fall a little bit slower.
And they fall on their feet, which I don't think you should do if you're falling on a net like that.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you, Kangi. Yeah, I usually say Max, can you do that? But I now have a few more active mods than just Max, so should you say mods? Oh, I see guests running around here on monorail cycles.
Yeah, there's a mountain bike rental quite close to here. And I thought to myself, how can I make this Class Action Park-ish? So they actually used the footpath for quite a lot of the ride.
Ah, and also a rope bridge without any fences.
Who needs fences?
Go again?
Yeah, who needs fences?
I don't. Guests don't either. I mean, they're perfect at this, actually. Oh, it was Max that did it. Well, whatever. Thank you, for doing mod stuff. Guests don't ever make a mistake on this. So, yeah, they don't need fences. You know, they're better. I would make a mistake at some point. The world's best mountain biker would, but they don't. Okay, see a mine train right here.
I quite enjoyed having them go over the path like that.
It's nice. I see a mine train right here. What? Oh, it has a loop. Let's see. Where's the... Oh, it doesn't have a train because it's the loop. Okay, there we go. This one has a train. Okay, let's just follow it around. I have a feeling that these two are somehow gonna collide. Well, they're on the same track anyway. Oh, that seems dangerous. Yeah, I did see the merge. That's why I did kind of know what was gonna happen.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most cool-looking rides in the park.
That isn't it really cool? Just the trains. Hang on, where's the other train? Oh, it unmerged again.
Yeah, the part where they follow each other on the same track. I think it's really an eye catcher.
Yeah, it is. Let's take another look at that, just from a little bit more zoomed out, without following the trains. Look at that. That is really cool. That's actually really cool. Yeah, that's a proper dueling coaster, proper racing coaster.
Oh, by the way, if you go back to the canyon area, then near the side of the map, there's actually a bumper cars ride.
Oh, here.
Near the edge of the map.
Ooh, it's... Yeah, about who needs fences. Not just bumper rides, though. You've been creative again. With go-karts as well as flying saucers.
Yeah, so if you actually make a bumper car ride, you use the right vehicle editor, you can actually change them into a go-kart if you want, or a flying saucer. It'll work fine.
We got a few crashed ones at the bottom. Which is nicely done.
Yeah. So to create that smoke, I just put like a coaster track that went in a circle. Then I launched it and made it fly off the track with the cars going in all directions. And that was a nice and easy way to make smoke there everywhere.
Oh, I actually did that as well a few days ago. Not with that intention. It was just in the cursed park. But yeah, I know how that works. It's a nice trick. I've used it to make fireworks.
Yeah.
What I also like is what I've seen used before. This is just a trick, not class action stuff. Is the guests are always single file in the queue line, which fits perfectly on the mini golf track.
Yeah. So quite close to this, you will actually find a horse ride.
Yes.
With the horses drawing carriages.
What's wrong with this? I don't see anything wrong as... Okay, well, that right next to it is wrong, but what's wrong with the ride itself? I mean, we've got these falling boulders.
Yeah. But also there's some sections, like the section over the water, and the carriages will just swing around like crazy there.
Oh, I see. Thank you for the gifted sub, by the way, Ulvenwood. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's take a look at this one. It's gonna swing around. Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's banked track, I suppose. But this looks really nice.
Looks very silly.
Yes. Looks quite dangerous, although this could easily be done in real life without it being dangerous at all. Oh, thank you for another gifted sub, Nick. I appreciate that as well. The thing is, yeah, a lot of things in your class action bar could be done in real life with just a few safety measures. Like these falling rocks could be done if they, be on some kind of restricted track or whatever.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Seems like great fun.
Yeah. So this ride's actually called Mount Crushmore, so that's also why I put the 4 Sphinx statues there.
Oh. You couldn't bother to mod them like the RCT, like your avatar.
No.
I know you have the big banner thing with your YouTube logo on it, the custom scenery. Like, you use that in the
I had
cannons.
that as a scenery piece once.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go to a different section of the park.
There are lots of rides. Okay, there's a lot of buildings here, like Asian Town.
Yeah.
And there are cars in it which are going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, so I put this car ride in shuttle mode. And since they're a powered vehicle, whenever they then reach the end of a track somewhere, they will just go in the other direction.
That's a rather useful trick. I should remember that. Maybe it comes in useful sometime.
You can also see these cars there that are moving forwards and backwards.
Yes.
They're actually cars that are just on a single station piece in, I believe it's in freefall drop mode, but that makes them do this behavior.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that. That's interesting. It's all those little tricks. But what's class action about this?
These guys are just trying to avoid all these cars that are parking. At some point there's a road that's closed and they actually drive through the buildings. At some point they pass, they just drive through a market where lots of guests are walking.
Okay, so there's a little bit of problems with it, but not so obvious.
Well, yeah, you could also look at the name of the ride.
It's called Asian Car Ride Experience. Well, there's a stereotype for you.
I didn't want to mention it. There's also a hot dog stall in the market. And I just called it dog stall.
You could have made a worse stereotype called female Asian car experience.
And also below that you can see a 3D cinema, which only shows obscure Japanese movies.
Oh, that's what these kind of weird tentacle things are about. Oh, I was gonna ask about that. I was like, what kind of ride is that? But
there's also a massage salon next to the exit of the ride called Happy Ending.
3D film Mouse Tails. Very big, strong, burly mice. And then there are those scenery pieces which are horrible expansion scenery pieces of like 10 meter tall women in bikinis.
Oh yes.
Like for things that are from the Asia or no, from the South America set or something. And you also have one that's a squid or an octopus that's is also animated and moving its tentacles around. So what you can just do is place a couple of women in bikinis and then just place a line of octopuses behind it, and it'll be inappropriate for everyone who knows what it means. But the kids won't know, so it's fine.
Yeah, I preferred keeping it a little bit more subtle.
It depends on your definition of subtle.
Yeah, of course.
It's not too subtle.
Also in this area is a wooden wild mouse coaster. It's also in the Asian area. It's a little bit more in the other direction. It has a big yellow building in the center of it.
Oh, I see. Yes. It has a nice dragon around it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this ride actually has some jumps over the queue.
Yeah, I see. That seems not dangerous at all.
It's one of the first tricks I actually did in Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where I once made one of these wooden wild mouse tracks and made some jumps in it.
It's a classic trick, you have your go-kart, you make a fire pit, you make the track invisible over the fire pit, and they jump through the fire. You know, a lot of people have done that, but it's still nice, you know, especially with the nice scenery around it. It's just cool.
Yeah, for sure. And next to this ride, you can find like a sort of like a jungle with these tiger cars.
Oh, hang on, they're on the road. Oh no, wait, they're on the top of the building. It was
Yeah.
like a 3D isometric thing, which made them seem on the path.
Yeah, this is actually a mini golf ride where I made the guests go faster, so it looks like they're frantically running around.
Nice. How did you make them go faster? Like chain
Right
lifts?
vehicle editor once again.
Oh, that's a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that. Maybe I should experiment with it more and crash the game a little bit less.
It's a great tool.
Okay, what do we have here? This is an inverted kind of bobsled. What? It's a bobsled that's half inverted, half bobsled.
Yeah.
And has a loop.
Yeah, I was actually inspired by a contest entry that someone made for a bobsleigh coaster contest once, I believe. And they actually made it so that for part of the track, the cars were actually suspended. And it works really well because, yeah, the cars swing around. And of course, they're supposed to do the same on the suspended track. So,
Yeah, it looks quite natural.
Yeah.
It doesn't look wrong. The loop looks wrong when they go over them because they don't have the sprites. But other than that, it looks fairly natural.
Yeah. Yeah, the bobsleigh coaster and the suspended coaster, I believe they use the same routine for their swinging animation.
Yeah, like also like swing the same amount left and right on with the same speeds and stuff. Dinghy slide as well?
Sorry?
Does the dinghy slide, does that do that as well?
Yeah, correct.
I mean,
so
it's probably easy.
There's actually a bug in the original Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where if you make a track where the cars actually roll back, then on the backward section, they will actually swing inwards in a turn instead of outwards.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. Didn't Ollie like make a whole thing about that a long time ago?
I actually did something about it, and I actually fixed that in the Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Ah, well, someone did. Maybe it was you then. I remember seeing that and, you know, trying it myself as well. And it was quite funny.
Yeah.
It's just not at all what should happen, and it's just like logically why the game does it makes sense, but if you just don't expect it, it's just so weird.
Yeah. It was an easy fix though. I just had to make that number absolute, and then it worked.
Yeah, it's just a negative sign.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have here? We have a looping, swinging pirate ship. Like basically a normal pirate ship that inverts.
Yeah.
Which is not at all an inverted pirate ship, although it does have over-the-shoulder harnesses.
Yeah.
So it should be safe.
Yeah, someone, Fidwell, made a tutorial for making one of these super duper loopers. You know, the ride from RC3. Basically, it's just the ride which consists of a single loop.
Yeah, the one that I call the super duper oopa oopa looper.
Yeah.
On my streams.
So basically, I used that same tutorial, but with invisible track to make this ride. And of course, I decorated it a little bit nicer.
Yeah, with the nice ship and stuff. It looks cool. What is this for kind of track? Is this just a mini, or is just a single rail coaster or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, with chain lift on it, I assume.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. It's really cool that all the content creators kind of know each other. Well, fun fact, there used to be like basically only a single big Discord server for all the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 YouTubers where we all kind of originated. Well, the server still exists, but it's not the main server anymore for it. It's called Roller Coaster Tycoon and Friends. So yeah, we knew each other before any of us made videos. I think only Stu was making videos already before I got to know him.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Royer as well, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I only started videos about a year after I joined that server, and you as well, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite a fun time there.
Oh, it was really good. I learned a lot there. Okay, what do we have here? It's a May. Oh. Crocs. I think I saw this on Reddit.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I've posted most of these rides on the Reddit as well.
Seems totally safe. I mean, it's just an everyday occurrence in Florida.
Yeah. There's also some of these cog wheels that look like grinders.
Oh, yeah, I see. Right here. And of course, I missed the bones. In the top left.
Yeah, of course. Some carnivorous plants as well.
Seems very nice. And very safe. Oh, and a gorilla.
It's probably named after a patron.
Alatkala.
Yeah, that's a patron.
Yes. What's this? It's, hang on, it's the dragon. Oh, it's the front train of the Dragon Coaster.
Yeah,
Front
yeah,
car.
it's again one of these rides in free fall drop mode, so it just moves back and forth all the time.
That's really cool. Hang on, Discord is down. Oh, maybe that's why the stream didn't work anymore. We are still talking on Discord, by the way. So it's not entirely down, but maybe that's why the stream between us didn't work anymore.
Yeah, it could be it.
Oh, I thought for a minute you were just trolling by being quiet, as if it just suddenly didn't work. Okay, what do we got around here? It says a river rapids, presumably with more crocs. Well, I see a gorilla anyway. And, ooh, that's dangerous.
It's perfectly safe.
Yeah, nothing dangerous about this. Not at all.
I quite liked the lift for this ride. So if you rotate the screen, you can actually see I used some, like the front vehicle of an air-powered vertical coaster. And a lot of those to make...
That's
like
clever.
make like a lift to carry up the boats.
That's really clever. I mean, it's still kind of floating, but it's about the closest you can get.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another examples of good enough.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things you can't get perfect. I mean, there's all kind of like scenery clipping or clipping with these tracks and stuff. It's kind of an annoyance of me whenever I try to do stuff like this, but it's not really you can do much about.
Yeah.
This is, just good enough, and people who play Roller Coaster Tycoon will understand because they know the limitations, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here? Purple coaster. It's going backwards. That doesn't seem terribly safe.
It looks like a normal coaster, but
yeah. Okay, before you say anything more about it, I wanna. Is it just entirely going backwards?
yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, I want to see it in action, so I was gonna wait for it to, reverse, out of the station as normal, and then at some point it would reverse because I couldn't make a hill, but that's not how this works. This is just going backwards.
Want me to explain it?
Shoestring?
No.
Chain
It's
lift?
actually not a shoestring. No.
Powered ride?
Yes.
It seems that it's going a bit fast for a powered ride.
In Ride Vehicle Editor, you can actually set the speed and the acceleration for a powered ride.
How fast can you go?
However fast you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try that because
Obviously there are limits, but
I have the plugin. Let's see, where is it? Edit ride vehicles. Okay, how do I do this? What is it called? It's called
Works Croc, which is corkscrew in reverse.
I can't select it. Oh no, I can. Never mind. Thought it would be behind that, but and it wasn't on the screen. I can. Okay, let's see. Max speed. Well, let's see how far we can go. I'll get another clicker because that will make it go a bit faster. Okay, 77. Well, let's see how high we can go.
There's also...
we just looped. 255, I assume. Yeah, that's not that fast, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No. Just carry on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you got it stuck.
Yeah, well, I won't save then. Just like when I removed all the scenery from Mount Deurklink. You secretly replace all the downloads that you have with that version.
There's also a water coaster nearby.
Is
The green
this
one.
it? The green one. Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, that has the same kind of lift hill as it did in your first megapark.
Yeah,
The floaty one.
This water coaster actually goes underwater.
May I ask a super daring question? After you're done with Deurklink's park, would you maybe show him my pier thing? His parks inspired me to go to such a level of detail. It's not even close, but it's not even close to be as good as his stuff. So curious to see what he'd think of it. Well, I'll show him, and I'll see what your reaction is.
Sure.
Also, thank you for the gifted sub, Abel Graham. Lots of people just gifting one gifted sub today. Not like just one, not like I'm expecting more, but usually it's one person gifting 5 or 2. This is just different than what I'm used to, but I'm still very thankful. Was it Aztec Pyramid on the left?
It's the sacrificial pit.
It's a lava pool.
So actually in this park, I didn't just restrict myself to normal base game items, but I'm also using recolorable versions of them.
Okay, so it's still... This is just the green swamp goo recolored.
Yeah.
It's still basically vanilla. It's like when you have little vanilla tweaks in Minecraft. It's like invisible item frames and stuff. It's pretty much vanilla, but it's a little bit more customizable.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is fair. Thank you for the sub. Doelapt. Let's see. What else do we got? We got this. That's a long train. On this looping coaster.
Yeah, so
Pirate Looper.
The station actually has a loop in it.
Oh! Yeah, I remember seeing that.
It actually does several laps, but when it stops, it looks really silly. It must be quite difficult for the guests to actually get into the vehicle.
Yeah!
The middle ones at least.
Oh, there we go. It's arrived at the station. Train isn't long enough. No, it is. It perfectly fits between like the front station piece and the back station piece. You know, you'll see. There we go. Fits perfectly. Somehow the guests are really good at just teleporting to cars that aren't on the station.
Yeah, so quite often I got the question from people like, how do guests get into the middle vehicles? My answer is usually with great difficulty.
Well, actually, it seems rather easy for them.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it doesn't seem to be great. For us, it would be great difficulty. For them, it seems like a teleport in the park. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm quite close to this. We actually have a ride with rowing boats. And for most people, this was their favorite ride in the park. You see the pool of water with the rowing boats and the guests followed by the sharks.
Let me guess, you increased the speed as well.
Yeah. So I changed the trains around using the right vehicle editor and I made them faster.
That's wonderful. I can see why this would be people's favorite ride, and I'm not sure if it is mine, but it might be. That's absolutely wonderful. And this boat ramp is another custom or another expansion scenery item. They come in useful again.
Yep. No, actually, this is the pirate roof, but recolored.
Oh, it's not well, I mean, it's custom, but I thought that was expansion, the pirate roof thing, but
Nope.
apparently...
Nope.
Oh, no. It looks expansion-y.
Yeah.
But it isn't. But really well done, anyway. It's just... How did you do this, Deurklink? It's not Deurklink. A Deurklink sounds like you have an animal called a Dirk, and then the small ones, the baby ones, are called Deurklings. A lot of jagged rocks sticking out. Nice touch. Yeah, that is a nice touch. And of course also the barrels.
I think I will receive lots of comments in the coming time on my YouTube channel calling me Deurklink.
Deurklings. Deurklink. I like that. Dirk is a normal name in Germany. Yeah, it's the same in the Netherlands. Dirk. We even have a grocery store called Dirk. Yeah, this park is all nice touches. Yeah, the thing is, it's all class action and it's all funny and like haha, dangerous and stuff. But at the same time, there's some genuinely cool tricks and cool scenery here. You can learn a lot from this.
Yeah, I really did my best to make everything look as nice as possible.
One thing that is a bit of a shame, but that's not your fault, that's just how the game is, which I also have problems with sometimes, is the lack of good cliff textures.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be like stone, this brown thing, and all the other ones are clearly, like, except ice of course, but these are clearly man-made.
Yeah, I typically just select the one which fits the color I want to go for the best.
That is a bit of a shame. I miss some kind of a grey stony thing. Like the cobblestone in Minecraft or something like that. Drown a guest in the shark pool. Sure. Guest 44,690. That's another sign that he's been working on this park for a long time.
So what a lot of people in my contests usually resort to is these volcano pieces. So it's a scenery item from the Martian set, I believe. Volcano. And if you copy and paste those pieces with the Tile Inspector, you can actually get some nice rock textures. Especially since I've started allowing recolorable versions of objects. They've actually also made a recolorable version of the volcano. So they're using that now to make these cliff textures in different colors.
That's cool. Do you only do NCSO?
Typically, yes.
I like that. Custom scenery is cool and all, but NCSO... I mean, my favorite style is, like, also no cheats, which you obviously aren't doing. But NCSO is also just, with cheats, also really cool. I mean, all these parks are cool. And these are really cool tricks that you wouldn't be able to do without cheats.
Yeah.
Like this year,
my community we've already built now for several years all the contests, mostly without custom scenery, and basically it's just a style that has evolved over time. We have so many cool tricks with all these different scenery items, but also it has just become like our tool set, and yeah, I think with custom scenery there's just so much more you can do, but just because you can do so much more, everything usually also has to be a lot more detailed. And it will just take so much more time to actually create something good.
Yeah, well, my problem with custom scenery, and that's kind of also like if you, for example, I don't know, play modded in Minecraft or whatever, is that because you can basically change anything to anything you want, it loses a bit of the magic of using all these fancy tricks to get, stuff to look the way or work the way you want.
Yeah.
And, you have the chisel and bits mod in Minecraft, which basically allow you to go down to make things a cube of 1 by 1 pixels. And a normal block is 16 by 16. So you have, about 65,000 of those tiny blocks in one thing. So you can go really detailed, but that loses kind of the magic of Minecraft, where you have to just make do with what you got. And it's the same if you use custom scenery in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Yeah, and another reason why I think it's good that we don't play with custom scenery is, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions as well, restrictions breed creativity.
They do. They absolutely do. And you get wonderful things which you otherwise wouldn't get because you just make a custom scenery item. And then you get wonderful tricks. Like track architecture is one of them.
Yeah, Yeah, we're basically forced to use it to do certain things. But
Yeah, I
it
mean,
also just works really well.
you got this big mouth of some kind of sea beast,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, you got the tracks and lots of track attack, a lot of wooden coasters stacked and on top of each other and stuff. You got bones for the teeth, and you got some Martian items, buildings, whatever, structures for the eyes, which is really cool.
So yeah, the Roller Coaster Tycoon Facebook account and Twitter account, they actually posted this shark on their.
Oh, they
On their...
did. You're
Yeah.
famous.
Oh yeah.
You've just basically made it now.
Yeah. I guess I should start streaming now.
Yeah, you just quit your job, just do Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 full time. Would you do that if, you know, if you would make enough money from YouTube?
I'm not sure actually, because I really love my job.
I suppose it depends on how much money it is.
Yeah,
as well.
of course.
Like, there's a difference between like 3,000 a month and 20,000 a month.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Um,
I really like the job that I have now, so I wouldn't really quickly switch unless YouTube is just so much more fun.
yeah. Okay. Well, what else do we got in this park?
I think we've covered pretty much most of the rides that are in this park.
Yeah, this is not the maximum size, and I can't imagine how much longer it would take to fill a 256 by 256 park.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the junior actually.
I filled this park in around 2 months.
Okay, well then you could do a 256 to 256 park and just, you know, do an Anderlzig and work on it for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to be stuck on a project for so long. So this looks like a normal junior coaster, but at some point you see it go into a tunnel. Not really sure if you can.
There's
really
a loop there, and another loop there. Yeah, I can see on the little window. I'm not sure how, especially if people are not in full screen mode, but there are a few loops underground. You can see them there.
Oh, by the way, here over there you have the main street as well.
Yeah.
I think it would be really fun if you just pass by all the shops.
Okay, I did see one here as well. Okay, we got the frozen pizza that we saw earlier. Toilets, which looks actually normal for once. Yeah. What's this? It's souvenirs, action park merch. Makes sense.
Still quite normal.
I mean, you're trying to make money, so that makes sense. What do we have? Burger Cave. Or, if you want to pronounce it French, Burger Café. Which also fits. Which is actually not class action at all.
No,
it is nice.
There's actually one of those cave scenery items inside there.
Oh, really?
The Burger Cave is kind of a meme on our Discord.
Oh. I don't see it, but I'm looking through scenery now, so that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. If you would use the cutaway view, you would see it. But it's not that special, actually. I'm
gonna take a look. Let's see. Ah, I see. You don't see that at all. I mean, you built a nice building. Well, you can actually see a little bit below the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a raid. What's up, Rupku? Welcome again. And 16 viewers. Welcome everyone. We're, well, fairly close to finishing going through Deurklink's class action park, which is basically just an unsafe park. Yeah, lots of unsafe rides. You know, go-karts going through bumper cars, that kind of stuff. Hope you had a good stream, by the way. You're very welcome. And, yeah, where were we? We were at the shops. Roller coaster with the crossing. Oh, yeah, that's where we actually were. Yeah, there we go. There's a train coming.
Just about to pass it again. Yeah.
This is quite dangerous. Okay, what else do we have? This is the entrance building for it, and the exit building. Okay, we got Taco Hell. That's the one I did see.
So Inside's actually
A toilet with flames on top of it? Let me guess. No.
uh,
It would have been nice.
there's actually a drink stall called Fire Extinguisher. And,
Should have
don't
been
remember
like
the
a
name of
chocolate
it.
milk stall, because milk is good for if you're eating something spicy.
Yeah, probably should have done that.
And then you got taco hell, too spicy for you. Okay, then we got the other side of the main street. I did see this. Sugar-free candy. Tastes like nothing. Sugar-free cotton candy. Isn't that like impossible?
Yeah, they just got a stick.
Sadly, you can't do that in the game, because you do actually see them getting a big cotton candy. By the way, I like that sprite. It's a really nice sprite. It would have been so easy for Chris Sawyer to just, have the guests have the food, but not show it at all in the sprite. But, you see a guest drinking here, and you can see them all having different foodstuffs when you sell different kinds of food, which is just such a nice touch, which makes it so much better.
His attention to detail is just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you go through the code, you find all these little things which you normally don't notice when you're playing the game, but which are so subtle.
Can you mention one?
Not from the top of my head, but I know that when I went through the code, I just had a lot of the time I just had, wow, that's clever. Well, for example, like the different prices that guests are willing to pay for several types of food in hot weather or cold weather.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. The reason I asked you is because I couldn't come up with anything off the top of my head either. That's a good one. I recently made a video about that. About basically making a video of your guide on shop prices and stuff. And I got a lot of comments that were like, yeah, it's so clever. And such an amazing thing and attention to detail that guests pay different prices depending on the temperature. Or not buy cotton candy when it rains.
Yeah.
It's just lovely. It's just amazing that he did those kind of attention to detail. Okay, people are talking about edible shoes. Is that a thing you did, or?
It's a shop next to the station of the junior coaster.
Did I just miss that? Oh,
Yeah,
there. It's Subways, but they're just cardboard basically, which makes them half edible shoes or something like that.
So there are some more shops across the street.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I know he's quite a private person, but does anyone know what Chris Sawyer is doing nowadays? If he's aware of OpenRCT? Well, I can't imagine that he's not aware of OpenRCT or not aware of me. Someone must have told them about the calculator or the longest coaster videos or about OpenRCT. There have been other videos by other creators that got like 500,000 views or whatever about the community, and they mention OpenRCT. So someone must know, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he has seen one or more of your videos. I mean, it was in the news everywhere.
Yeah, like even if he didn't see it himself, he must know about basically that there's still a community for it. And I would love to have an interview with him at some point. I know the chance is basically zero, but imagine that, just an interview with me, me interviewing Chris Sawyer and just putting that up on my channel. That of course wouldn't be live.
You would probably have most chance with a written interview.
Yeah, but that's, not nearly as fun.
Yeah, true. The only time I've seen him in a video was for, I believe he was riding Taron. Maybe he was there for the opening in Phantasialand, something like that.
I've seen a video of him from, I don't know, I think 20 years ago, from him either playing Transport or Roller Coaster Tycoon, one of his games, and also him talking about some stuff about the game. It's on YouTube somewhere. I wouldn't know what it's called or how to find it, but you might be able to find it if you look for Chris Sawyer or something like that. Okay, Probably. What do we have here? Chewing glass. I mean, you can do that. There's this kind of chewable glass that does exist.
Yeah, it's like chewing gum, but a little bit more brittle.
A little bit sharper. Guest 66,000. Hang on. How far along are we if we go to the last guest? 71,000. You've been playing for a long time. You've looped
What
through
year
all
are
the
we
guest names very, very often.
What year are we in?
100. That's not a funny number, though. It's a nice round number.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one, I think this is the last one. Mystery meat. That can mean two things. One of them is a little bit less appropriate.
Yeah, you can actually see the backyard, and you can see some scavengers there.
Oh! There's astronauts like collecting mystery meat. Nice. And of course it's Chinese. Let's just hope it's not a bat. Let's down the second lowest guest number. That's 1978. That's probably the year Deurklink was born in.
Actually, I was born 10 years later.
Yeah, I would imagine you're not that old. So you're about 8 years older than I am.
Yeah. And there's one more building at the end of the street, which is the first aid stall. And there's actually some first aid stalls inside, and I gave them all names of things that services that the first aid provides.
Lobotomics, circumcisions, bullet wound treatment, and stomach drainage. I'm curious about Also, why are these two? Oh, that's the sign. It's not stacked. Oh, that's why it's like that.
Yeah, it's just to track a texture.
I'm curious about circumcisions.
Yeah, don't ask.
I will ask. Why? Are they popular?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. Amputations had 129 customers. Stomach draining is 91. Bullet wound treatment only 9. It's not that much. Lobotomics 12 and circumcisions 65. Train-based circumcisions. It's got to be really precise.
Yeah, it's like, it sometimes also happens on the chainsaw, right? Unfortunately.
This is not where I expected this livestream to go. I should put like a 13 plus warning on this. Well, technically YouTube is 13 plus, so I should be fine.
Anyway, I think this was pretty much all of class action megapark.
Yeah, it's quite a good park. You did a really good job on it.
I'm really proud of it.
You should be.
I think it's also really funny.
It is. It's definitely, you know, a lot of people have made like little rides that are dangerous and stuff, but this is probably the largest park dedicated to dangerous rides and basically that kind of theme. So you've definitely done something unique.
Yeah, and I tried to make the rides silly, but still fun. But yeah, silly but not stupid, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like so, not launched at not launched at 400 kilometers per hour or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So silly and dangerous, but still believable.
Yeah, like this. So you basically remade Action Park New Jersey.
Yeah, but a little bit more dangerous.
This is just Action Park.
Yeah.
Imagine circumcision as a requirement to enter the park.
No, it's not a requirement to enter the park, or else it would be before the entrance.
You're just forcibly taken there if you're not already. I don't want to go to this park. Okay, I have 2 extra parks from Deurklink, but first I'm gonna quickly show Max's scenario. which is actually quite cool. It's just not fun to play, but it does look really nice. It's called Bumblier Pier, and it looks like this. So I was loading it in. There we go. It's loosely based on the Scheveningen Pier, and it's a lot of big buildings. Is the stream still? Yes, it is. It was just my little screen that was not doing good. It's a lot of big buildings, which look really nice and very detailed. So what do you think about them?
Yeah, when you do big buildings, it's always pretty difficult to not make them look to not make them look same. So yeah, when you use lots of the same texture on a building, it tends to make the building look a bit boring, if you know what I mean. So big buildings are always very difficult to make. But I think Max did a really nice job on these buildings.
I think so as well. I mean, you have the roof here, which is, you know, a little bit boring. But these skyscrapers, I mean, that's just basically what skyscrapers look like. It's boring, but that's also realistic.
Yeah.
And then you got, you know, a lot of different kinds of buildings. And this big building has just enough little different things, like this thing at the front and stuff, which makes it not boring, and the fire escapes. So I think that works out.
Yeah.
And of course, I've already seen this.
Yeah, I think I'm also a bit spoiled with all the entries that I get from players in our contests. Because, what players just build in these contests, it's just beyond incredible. And I've seen some incredible cityscapes. But of course, using all kinds of tracked texture, even using signs without text as part of the buildings, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of a thing that happened on Rollercoaster Tycoon and Friends. It's on New Element, it's on your server a lot. It's that the level of of scenery and building in the contest is so high that, first off, people, like me with my skill in building, which is I can do some things but not a lot, they don't really want to enter because they're scared that people are going to dislike it because it's bad compared to the rest. But also you lose a little bit of perspective yourself, which you said, you were spoiled. You lose a bit of that perspective of what, the little things that normal people make that aren't nerds at the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's also why when newer players submit something to me for a contest, I always give them pointers. I usually point to 1 or 2 tutorials when I see something that I can easily improve. And I always recommend people to just ask around on the Discord, show their work. And we have lots of very helpful players who are always very eager to help out these players and give advice.
Yeah.
So it's always really nice to see a player join a few times, and you can really often see them improve very quickly.
I can imagine you've tailored your community to be like that. I remember it's on the Rollercoaster Tycoon and Friends Discord being quite a bit of a problem that like people who would make fairly normal stuff would get low scores and they would be hurt by that. But in your community that might now be a lot better.
Yeah, also for our contest, like when people have to rate each other's work in the contest, but we also have a field where guests can leave, or where people can leave a review, and I'd say like 75% of all the people who vote also leave reviews, and it's all good-natured stuff. So we don't tell each other your buildings are shit or something, but it's always just like what did they see that they liked, what did they see that that could be improved, and it's all good-natured.
And that's nice. Okay, so Max said that there are also some things in the buildings, which is why I was looking inside them while we were talking. I see some stuff here. This is basically an outside that's inside. In this big build. Oh, there we go. You can't see it at all, but it's basically oh, it is actually it's just what do you call it in English? Like binnenplaats. Just an outside place inside the building. I didn't even notice that. And I think I saw some other stuff here as well. Yeah, you know, a few, what they're called, gambling machines. A courtyard, yes, that was what I was looking for. Thank you. I know
a little casino here. Yeah.
I know my stuff isn't as good as Deurklink stuff, but this is my first attempt. Yeah, that's also a thing. It's, you know, same when people say, you know, I can't play like you play. It's, yeah, duh. I've been doing this for a while. Same with Deurklink. He's been doing it for a while. And you live as, you know, you learn as you go. So you just got to do it a lot. And for a first attempt, this is more than stellar. You've got some sand dunes here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot that could be improved here, but I also see a lot of stuff which is quite nice.
Yeah. Okay.
This slide is quite weird.
The slide, yeah, it's going very fast. I noticed that as well. It's an animated scenery item. The silence here is bothering me a bit, I must say. After all the mega parks. Let's move on to. We have a little bit of time. I know. Do you still have time?
Yeah, sure.
You sent me two other parks which I haven't seen. One of them is Poke Park with 1 million park value without buying land.
Yeah. Actually, did a video once where I challenged myself to play Poke Park without buying any land, indeed, and I just made the scenario goal 10 times as difficult.
Well, let's see what you did. Okay, I have some expectations, but let's see. There we go. That's pretty much what I expected. I mean, let's be honest. You could go for 2 million. You still have quite a lot of support limit left. Or are you at 255 rides? No, you're not. You're about half the rides. You could go for 2 million.
I could indeed go for much more. I think I got to 1.8 million or something.
Oh yeah, you did. You could go for 3 million.
I basically just put down a number of rides until I thought I had enough. And then I just opened the park to see if it was enough. And then I saw how much I had.
I like that they're all synchronized. And they will stay synchronized because guests aren't able to go on them. You know, usually when I build like a few microcoasters or launch free falls, people are asking like, you know, can you sync them? But, and you know, if I sync them by opening them at the same time, they won't stay synced because guests. Yeah. But these are synced, and that's lovely.
Yeah, yeah, I just opened them indeed. There will be guests on them, so...
Yeah, I've also done a similar thing on Dinky Park. I'm not sure if it's Dinky or Poke Park. I think I have both names.
Probably. It's the American version, if it's Dinky Park.
Okay, that's very loud. Also not the one I wanted. Is it number 2 that I want?
You have an insane amount of save files.
I do, I have about 2,300. Okay, do you know this? Why is this park so much louder than some other parks? Like, it's literally louder.
I have no idea.
It's usually,
I always play with sound off. So.
It's usually old save files that I load. I'm zoomed out because it's not to make it less loud. It's usually old save files that are louder than the exact same park would be if I will build it from scratch. Which is weird. But, you know, I'll turn down the music here in the options. There we go. This is when I did Poke Park with only flat rides. And actually only one level of flat rides as well. All the path is on the floor. Which was rather nice. I did it a few years ago. Just reminded me of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually quite easy to get required park value if you know what you're doing.
I'm only at 67,000 now, because the rides aren't new anymore. I had to constantly renew them.
Oh yeah.
Because flat rides don't give a lot of park value.
Yeah.
And technically the towers aren't flat rides, but, you know, close enough.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more park to go through, which is another one of Deurklink's, and it's Deurklink Stage 12. I don't even know what it is, but let's see.
So, On my Discord community in the last year, we did a timeline park contest. So every player who joined, they all in the first stage, which was in January. Every player had to start with a really small park with just 1 or 2 gentle rides. And basically in every stage, so every month they could add something or maybe change something. And finally in stage 12 it would be their finished park.
So, what is it with you and giant Ferris wheels?
This one's actually again a step smaller than the one in Mount Deurklink.
Yeah, but not as small as the one in Class Action Park, which is like from Bagger 269. Yeah. I think I'm almost slightly smaller than this.
Yeah.
But at this point, it seems like you like them so much that it becomes a fetish wheel.
Well, most parks do have a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, but not one this big. I really like.
I don't think this one is that big, to be honest.
I really like the general aesthetic of this. I'm a sucker for electric fields, which is basically rustic farm, and this is the same kind of style. And I'm just a big fan of that.
Yeah, indeed. It uses a lot of the grass with dirt.
Yeah, and a lot of these like ornamental trees and stuff. Oh, thank you for the one gifted sub, Senri. I do appreciate that. Okay, so we actually have some weird vehicles here as well. We have someone in a go-kart, a few monster trucks.
Well, yeah, these are mostly normal vehicles.
We have a few people who arrived in clocks with trees on them.
I just think they go so well together.
They do. Did you know that the clock is one of the most expensive scenery items by volume?
Really?
It's 40. It's, as far as I know, the second most expensive scenery item by volume. The only more expensive one is the tiny rotating gear, which is 4 times as small, and it's 15. So it's 60 for the same volume as the clock.
Yeah, the clock is probably that expensive because it also shows your computer time.
Yeah, it actually does. I still need to make a video about that. Yeah, it's currently a quarter to 11. Also, thank you for the 5 months. Stop jinxing me. I do appreciate that. Okay, so we got the little train crossing here. You have a few train crossings, which are just a feature of OpenRCT2. There's nothing like trickery on this. 0 clearance them on top of each other, and it'll work fine. We have a nice go-kart here, which is lovely. I keep trying to find class action stuff with the ride, but this is a normal park.
Yeah, this is just a nice park that I just wanted to show you. And your viewers, of course.
Yeah. Alright, see ya, Kangi. Have a good night. We have some kind of, what's it called? Wild Mouse ride here. It's like a Gerstlauer style thing, am I right?
Yeah, it's a Gerstlauer bobsled kind of ride.
Ha, I do know some things.
Yeah.
What else do we got? More parking. We got, really?
I especially like the looper.
Did you make the salmon pink on purpose? Just like 5 steps ahead, like 5-dimensional chess or whatever they call it when you do a move like this.
I honestly didn't know, but now that I know, I find it really funny.
Sure, you'll plant this in advance, asking me to do this live stream and stuff. I don't trust you one bit. Oh, but really, apart from the color, this is a nice coaster.
I mostly wanted to show off the supports that I made on the loop. So it's just diagonal pieces of a single rail coaster track.
Oh yeah, they are quite good.
And they're diagonal track pieces that are copied and pasted, so you can only see them from one angle.
What do you mean? I see them from every angle.
Yeah, that's because I put them there. I copied and pasted them for every angle. So I did it all 4 times. And that way I was able to make it so that they line up perfectly from every angle.
Oh.
Because you probably know how finicky loops are when you try to put some scenery or anything next to it. Then you look from
Yes.
the other angle and you see it's not connected.
Yes, loops are can be well annoying. Let's just call them annoying.
Yeah, and when you paste track pieces that are only visible from one angle, yeah, it just makes it so much easier to have them exactly where you want.
It's kind of like a year in Winkelheim, what you did here.
Yeah, sorta.
Except on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
What else do we got? We got a nice long flume with a steep drop.
Yeah.
It's mostly because there is no like 45-degree drop.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is a bit of a shame, because otherwise you probably would have used that.
Probably.
But yeah, you know, it's classic. And you got this ride, which we saw as well in, I think, the Glass Action Park or one of the other ones. I'm not sure. What's this called? Like
The ride.
the ride type. What's it called in real life?
It's called a condor.
Ah.
There's one of these in Slagharen.
Really? Is it new?
No, it's not new.
Because I've been to Slagharen a few times, but I don't remember it. Then again, that was like 15 years ago for the last time.
Yeah, I don't know when they built it.
It's a condor, which is why you called it eagle.
Yes.
Makes total sense. Then we got...
Eagle also kind of fits like the Wild West theme.
It does. It does. Then we got a wooden coaster here, and I mean, wooden coaster in like a rustic farm thing is basically catnip to me. It's just the only thing I'm slightly missing on this wooden coaster. It's, let me just say, brown isn't a theme. That's my criticism of this wooden coaster. I would have seen like a tiny hint of color.
Yeah, it's fair criticism.
What I like to do on the wooden coaster, which, by the way, I think it's really strange, is that usually the first one is called the main color.
Yeah.
And on every track, like on this junior, for example, it's the middle.
Yeah, it's strange.
Hey, use the palette for this. But on the wooden coaster, it's the side. And actually the second color is not entirely even the middle. It's slightly inward. And then the support color is, well, obviously the supports. And the middle, which I suppose there's nothing in the middle, so that's also supports.
Speaking of palette, you could see there's one color that's completely black, right?
Yeah, bright purple.
Yeah. So the reason for that is actually around the map you see all this black color. And in our contest we don't allow custom objects, but we do allow custom palettes. So some players figured out that they could make a palette with the purple range all changed to the void color, and then they could use the purple grid land type to actually color stuff in this black color.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah, it didn't even... You know, we were talking about custom scenery, or well, mostly that you do no custom scenery, contests, sparks and stuff. It didn't even occur to me that obviously you need custom scenery to do this trick. Because, you know, I'm so used to it. But this is not custom scenery, this is actual... Well... Yeah, it's the void. It's actually the... I was like, of course it's the void, because there's actually a void landscape now, but... this is not void, this is just the purple grid, because it's in between the other grids. And that's how you just make the land void.
Yeah.
And that's how that works.
Yeah, in the new save format, indeed, there's now a void land type, so this trick is kind of obsolete. Except you can also use this to make objects in the black tile color. For example, you can make sloped fences along the edge of your land, and then you can kind of make it look like you have floating land somewhere.
Oh, like that. Oh, that's cool. And, you know, even if the trick is even if it was entirely obsolete, still a cool trick that maybe in the future could be used for, I don't know, something else. Also, custom pallets, you could probably make some other cool like ground types with that. Not just this. Like make it white, make it seem like you're in heaven.
Yeah, yes, I've seen several people actually do that, indeed.
Oh, I just came up with it myself. And I'm proud of that. Marcel, I'm calling about your expired car warranty. Please give us a call back. That's interesting. I have a driver's license, but I don't have a car. I never have had a car. Please explain. Speaking about Junior, by the way, which I recall it a bit, I like Juniors. This one's a Mine Train family coaster thing, which, yeah, I've seen similar things before. Juniors are really nice. It's one of my favorite coaster types in the game. It's just lovely.
I usually struggle with junior coasters.
Why?
Because it's difficult to make a layout of them look nice. I mean, making a junior coaster very easy, but making them look nice is often actually quite tricky.
Well, but that's the thing. I never have to worry about making things look nice.
Yeah, it's easy.
Oh God, Max added the quote: "Juniors are really nice." It's all fine as long as it's in not necessarily in context, but you know, when people know that quotes can be taken out of context. But imagine someone tweeting that Marcel said this, it going viral, and you know that stuff. I'm not scared of that. I'm joking, of course. Not that I'm scared of that, but it does remind me of those kind of stories where stuff is taken out of context. But no, I'm fine with this. It's not like that.
One issue this junior coaster, for example, has that it only has right turns. Yeah.
Now it's a NASCAR coaster.
Yeah.
I am
right
usually
turn,
quite wary of that when I build it, actually.
Yeah.
I try to not make it NASCAR. I'm not sure if anyone's ever noticed that I do that, because I don't really ever talk about it. Might have mentioned it every now and then, but I do actively try to not make my coaster NASCARs.
Yeah, same. Oh yeah, and there's one last ride in this park, which is the horse ride. And actually it tried to make it look like it's in between the wooden coaster and the junior. And I put all these targets right next to it. So you could imagine it's like one of those rides where the guests get like one of these guns on their horse and they have to shoot those targets.
How about actual bow and arrow?
Oh yeah.
Like the guest on the front holds the bow and the guest on the back pulls back the string. Now that's teamwork.
That could work. But yeah, myself, I was really proud of these buildings, and generally that's the scenery around the horse ride.
I really like this building because it's just a scenery item. That's like the biggest roast. Really proud of these buildings. I like this one, which is just a scenery item. But no, I like the saloon. It is actually wonderful. You know, you got the sloped little fences, stuff like which are like the arches, and nice security guard, which is a frozen, an entertainer, which is frozen, and little roofs. You know, the roof's a little bit weathered. Which
in those diagonal parts, there's probably like 5 or 6 track pieces there stacked on top of each other, just to create this effect.
It's yeah, I can click on at least 3 of them.
I believe that diagonal railing there is not even on this tile. It's actually in front, but it's again another one of those one angle diagonal pieces.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you can actually not see it from this angle. If you look at this, there's no fence there, but if I then rotate 3 times, you can see it. How do you freeze staff? Yeah, how do you freeze staff? I know there's a button to do it for all staff, but how do you do it for one staff member?
You know the button to use the in-game console?
Yes.
It's above the tab key. Can you?
I like it to
there you
make.
go.
I like to use it to make to make rides as heavy as possible, make them go fast.
Yeah. Can you type staff, then space, then list?
Yes. Oh, and then staff, and then like 25, 37, and then
So-
freeze.
No. What you do is you type staff, then set energy, and then type the staff ID, and then type a 0 after that.
Set energy. So it basically works like set mass.
Yeah.
That's why I did go with staff
So-
list again. The bottom one should now have 0 energy instead of 0.96, and it worked. Somewhere there's a frozen handyman
Yeah.
called Handy How.
Yeah.
Let's see where he's frozen. And I like these names because Handy Aid. Oh, they're named, but they're not Patreon names, I think.
No.
Because it seems too convenient for that. Where's Handy How? Yeah, he's frozen, alright. He is... Oh, where is he? I don't
see him.
I don't see him.
He's in the queue, but he's.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
He's
There he is.
camouflaged.
You can see him now, right to the right of the tower in the building. That's nice. That's a nice trick. I don't really see myself using it, but maybe sometime in the future. Maybe if I ever participate in some kind of contest. Oh, I was actually going to use it for some of your. You hosted a contest a while ago. You had to make like on a 7x7 tile some kind of action thing with staff involved.
Yeah, staff scene.
A staff scene. And I had an idea for that. I would make like a giant entertainer out of entertainers. Which isn't really a scene, but I just wanted to do it, but then I never did. And my idea was more like, I wouldn't say anything about it. I would just do it and then just hand it in. And you'll be like, what?
Oh, by the way, for this staff freezing, there's someone on my Discord. His name is Manticore, and he's actually working on a plugin which lets you freeze a staff member. So you can just select the staff member, then click the button in the plugin, and it will set the energy to 0. So you don't have to use the console anymore.
Oh, that should be not too difficult to program, I think.
No, but yeah, the guy wrote a plugin for that, and it should be released soon.
That's nice. That's quite useful. You can actually see, by the way, in sometimes if I zoom out, you can see like a little bit of the edge of the park here at the right.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, which is slightly a shame, but hardly noticeable.
Can you make it rain?
Make it rain, baby.
Yeah.
Heavy rain. What do you just like the way it looks, or does it have a purpose?
Oh wait, no. No, I was checking if it interfered with the palette, but no, I forgot the entire range in the palette is set to black tile, so it doesn't actually affect it.
Heavy snow is not affected either. Blizzard. Nah.
No. Now it's really some people go really wild with palettes, and then when it rains, you will usually see some weird effects. But
Oh yeah, there are some crazy palettes out there. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the salmon pink one.
Don't do it.
You have no, I'm not gonna make it salmon pink. You have the one that you made or that you used, the bluegrass one.
Yeah.
Which is rather. Oh, by the way, here you can actually see the purple tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, this makes it look really weird. I actually used this for the thumbnail in my video about pellets because I think it looked distinct enough, easily recognizable.
I'm actually I've actually started on a new timeline park for this year, and I'm actually using this palette in it.
Oh yeah, I checked your YouTube channel and I recognize this palette in some of your latest videos.
Yeah, correct.
So we could all watch that if we wanted to. What's the name of this palette? Black tiles, let me guess. Yes.
Yes.
Seems to do it. So
Or
we're
black
back at the
palette.
original palette. Okay, I think we're about done.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then we're not gonna raid anyone today. So I want to thank you all for watching, and also fun stream. Wasn't I think to do good idea, Deurklink, to do this.
Yeah, sure. Thanks everybody for watching, and yeah, I really enjoyed doing this stream. If you want to see my videos, yeah, just search Deurklink on
OnlyFans.
YouTube.
Just go to OnlyFans and search Deurklink. You'll find some interesting stuff.
I also have a Patreon channel. Wink, wink.
Yeah. I know you do. I know you do. Alright, then I want to thank you all very much for watching, and you know, next time Sunday will be, I mean, I will say normal stream, I don't know what it will be yet, but I'll do it solo anyway. And yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye, have a good night.
See you later.